I did have a Spotify. Yeah, I thought I set up a Spotify. Oh, I didn't set it in this one. Auto hosting. I noticed that. I don't know if mine's actually doing it or not. So I'm like, okay, it's not picking you up, but it's picking me up.
Streaming or something. Like, I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know. I think it's. I might be wrong.
yeah. Well, they changed some of the settings in there, and I'm like, I don't understand what's it asking me exactly. I don't know. It's okay. I had to adjust my audio on OBS back to. It wasn't picking you up or anything off my desktop, just my mic. Which I turned my mic down because I had the fans all running, so I'm gonna leave it down because it's kind of quiet in here. But yeah, here, let's do this. I'll do starting stream soon just for amusement's sake. There we go. Then go back to the screen real fast. There we go. Let's see. Oops. Can you see my mouse? You can only see it when it interacts with something. Oh, that's okay with me. Oh shoot! No, 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 no. There we go. All right, so it's running.
I wish there was just a feature to auto host someone. Yeah, because it doesn't work in the
There we
way
go.
like I would hope it would. Like it should just automatically. There we go.
Yeah, it should auto host, but it's. I don't think mine's doing that properly because if like when you're streaming it, it doesn't show up. Uh,
Okay, well it says I'm hosting you now, so
uh, give me just a sec.
yeah. Okay, so there is a way to do it. It's under your quick actions under your stream manager.
music, so I'm singing along with it. Then I'll mute myself on stream now. Start laughing. It's like, oh, I have to get a keyboard for this laptop. Well, I'm looking at those Transformer cards too, because I'm looking at the stats and everything and what you can do with some of the items. And I'm like, I can really use these cards in cooperation with. And I'm like, huh. Because then I can use them with other characters. Other characters, yes. Oh, I lost my screen. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right here. That's why I can't find it. Let's go to their homepage. Here we go.
They've updated their page some.
Gameplay sessions. I'm probably gonna donate some money to them because I like what they're doing with this.
Yeah.
Then I'll start my own and it'll be Transformers and control everything. Yeah, it was by the bed. Probably. That's why I thought we had a thing of it. She just found the Tylenol.
See, the thing is, like, I know Transformers, but I don't know the lore quite as deep as you do. Like, I grew up with them as a kid, too, but...
I lost some track of it, but then I gained some back, and it's... I didn't watch all the cartoon animated stuff that they came out with, because I was like... after a point, I got... life happened, so I ended up not watching as much, or at all. Plus, we didn't have TV at the time, and not much of internet, so...
Yeah. Can they hear us right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just double checking. So, what I was going to say is that, like, I grew up around, like, Gen 1, like, the originals, like, and the movie. Like, the very first movie, gosh, like... That was one of the first animated movies I really remember watching was the first Transformers movie, where in the first... I mean, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the movie... But in the first 20 minutes, like, Optimus Prime dies.
Yeah.
And that, as a kid, like, that shook me because it's not often you really see the hero of the story die in the first, half hour of a movie. Like, that really, like, turns you, like, all kinds of ways.
Let me see. I don't know if that was before the scene in G.I. Joe or... after. It was the first time you got to see blood in G.I. Joe, even, because it was about the same time, and I'm like, he just got shot by a snake, I think it was a snake, and hits him in the chest, and I'm like, what the hell? As a kid, you're going, what? And then to hear a Transformer swear, I'm like, did he just say what?
It was like at the time they're trying to reach out to a more older audience.
Yeah, was funny.
But not really taking into account what the kids are seeing when this is all happening.
Yeah, I was like, I'm like, hey, I was a kid, I didn't care. I'm like, I still don't. I just after.
Well, in the case of the Transformers movie, it was really the rise of a new hero.
Yeah.
Because yes, Optimus Prime dies, but it's really the rise of
Rodimus,
Bumblebee, and Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, and Bumblebee always could have been, and was a leader in his own way, but he was also still solo in his own
I'm
way
sorry.
too.
I got it. It was Hot Rod.
Yeah, he was Hot Rod. He turned into
Hot Rod
Rodimus
becomes
Prime.
Rodimus Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
I
I
said
said
Bumblebee,
Rodimus.
but no. I said Bumblebee, but that was not right because
You
it
know,
was Hot Rod because Hot Rod becomes Rodimus Prime.
yeah, and I really thought Bumblebee would have been at some point, but not a lot of the lore really touched on him ever being. And I'm like, well, he was, but he wasn't like a Prime at all. He would never.
Yeah, well, Hot
Which
Rod
I
I
was
think
like,
was like the original Bumblebee because Hot Rod was, call me. I mean, I'm maybe remembering it wrong, but I thought he was also yellow. He
no,
was yellow and red.
yeah, he was yellow with or red with yellow flames on him, but he wasn't Bumblebee.
That
Hot
yeah,
Rod was a
it was
whole
the red.
separate because at the time of the original series, Hot Rod was there with Bumblebee too. Because I was watching it recently, so
Yeah, I'm
I was like, oh my god!
It's been forever since I watched the original movie, so I'm trying to pull this all from memory.
Yeah, and it's I think that's one reason why I started rewatching some of like the Beast Wars, Beast Machines is very confusing to me at some points. I think it's just because the graphics were always hard to watch, and plus, Optimus Primal, the character I have a hard time kind of associating to like, or even how do you describe it? I just can't grasp a hold of his character very well. I understand what he is and what he's doing, what he's trying to do, but
there's something missing in the character.
Yeah, there is something. It's like he's having schizophrenia almost at moments. I'm like, dude, can you pull it together? You're supposed to be a leader here. Don't you have the matrix of leadership with you or something? What's going on in your head? What's going on here? And I understand what he's trying to do. And I'm like, you're trying to achieve a higher consciousness? And then on top of it, you're trying to combine, which makes sense, but his character is not helping me bring that into wanting to see that. As I can see it with like Black Arachnia, Cheetor, Rat Trap, not so much, because when I see his design of his character, I'm like, okay, maybe it's the character designs. Some of them just don't catch me, but I don't know what it is. It's just I've watched the entire series and I see the ending. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, but the lead up to the whole thing, it's always running or getting themselves into trouble, and I'm like, you guys haven't learned anything yet about anything.
Well,
and I'm like, wow.
That's the problem when you write stories for this kind of thing. You have to constantly have them getting into trouble so they can find themselves, to find a way out of it. Like, when you're writing for any kind of episodic content, you're constantly having to write a new scenario or a new problem that has to arise for your heroes to solve.
Well, yeah, and it just seems like they're always being trailed by like in the next episode, they're already being attacked. I'm like, well, what happened to them getting down this tunnel and out of sight? And if you're smart enough, stop fucking transforming, you dumbasses, and then do a little searching. And yes, then they find you because you're accessing something. There you go. But it's like every moment, suddenly they're down the tunnel and they're following. How the hell did they find you? Because one of you's transformed? Duh. Because when they're in the animal form, they couldn't be tracked. Every time they were not transformed, they would find them. You guys are sitting there bitching about this, but yet they're finding you every time, and I'm like, you haven't found anything out about your past right away. You're getting little hints and glimpses, which was not too bad there, but it could have been a lot better to me. It was
right, yeah.
The Beast Wars.
The writing just isn't up to like your,
Well, and if they're going to come out with this movie of Beast Wars or Beast Machines, was it Beast Wars?
Yeah.
Right?
It's Beast Wars.
So I'm hoping that they can straighten that out a little bit, and
I don't know. Like,
it's gonna be hard because I watched that. I don't have any of the comics. I only got to see some of those, and yeah, I could probably pull them up online and read them that way. I don't even know where the hell to go to look for that shit. So I'm like, I'm not even gonna think about it because I download every one of them and try and read it because I'd probably follow along one of them because again, there's a couple offshoots again because it's the storyline. I'm like, I'm just learning about more about Primus. I knew about Primus to a point, but I didn't know they actually had incorporated him in. And I'm like, so where the fuck has he been all this time? That's what came to my mind when I found out. So I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is new. I got to figure out the storyline, and okay, let's see what happens. And then I did watch one of the newer ones. What the heck was it called? It was CG done. They had kids with them, and I can't think of the damn show now.
There were so many of them because I know Beast Wars was CG.
Well, this one was just more recent.
There was another Transformers show that was also full CG.
It was this one was done better, and they actually touched on Optimus being Orion Pax in it.
Yeah, because it was. I think that might have been the Cybertron one.
Was it maybe? I know they were still on Earth, but they would end up on Cybertron at moments. And actually, I was like, okay, I watched it. I was like, okay, I'm impressed. This isn't bad. And then when they hit on Orion Pax, I was like, are you shitting me? You actually touched on it. And I was like, now I'm impressed. Now you got my attention. And that was a little later on, but it was good.
I think when it comes to the newer material, I think there are going to be writers out there that genuinely love the source material and are going to get it right. So
yeah,
I think the prospect of future series of the show is still bright and has a lot of potential if you put it in the correct writer's hands.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that vision that they will have if they can bring it. Like when you're telling the story, Dave, you bring it because that's what catches my attention. I'm listening. I want to hear more. Well, I want to see what they're going to do with it because when they did that one version of Transformers, it caught my attention because I'm like, you're actually touching on the actual storyline, and Optimus isn't some. I don't know how to describe him in the Beast Machines because that's technically he's the future. Wait a minute, how many? He's way in the future version of Optimus, but he's sent back in time in Beast Wars. But then they end up back at Cybertron, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay,
Yeah, it's
you're
like
playing
there's
with
memory flashbacks, but it's hard to pinpoint what the purpose of those flashbacks are.
Yeah,
Because like
it's very pieced
there's a
together
few shows that actually did it better, and like I know we gotta kind of wrap up here. But
oh shit, yeah.
Finish,
Gonna...
But yeah,
I got me all excited about that.
With like, there are shows that do flashbacks really good. I mean,
yeah, there are.
One that really comes to mind is Arrow, because they had an entire 6-7 year plan for flashbacks, and every year, every new season was a new year, was the next year of what happened 7 years ago. So they had an entire like backstory for 7 years of what happened 7 years prior to the show of Arrow. And so like they had this massive plan.
I never saw Arrow. That's actually pretty cool.
If you've never seen it, I will just tell you, watch the first season. Just watch the whole first season and then just sit back on it and tell me if you don't think it's really good. But watch the whole thing, because from beginning to end, the first season, it's really fucking good.
Yeah, I'll have to look it up and see. I'm gonna make some noise here. Move this out of my way. There we go.
Yeah, the first, like, I think I'd have to say the first 3 seasons of Arrow are like some of the best television. Like,
I might
as
have.
far as like drama writing, story, it's really good writing.
Yeah, the only I just kind of with all the superhero stuff, I'm like it kind of I guess over
See, my
did it for
brother
my brain.
described it kind of weirdly to me. Is like it's like he's Batman, but he's not Batman.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Green Arrow in the comics is very different from Green Arrow in the TV show, and you'll immediately notice that there's a very kind of a line here with Batman and Green Arrow, and Green Arrow in the show is very much like Batman in this.
Yeah,
But it's good. So
I've heard that
I like it.
Now I've heard that description of his character in the show, but again, I haven't watched it. I've only seen little clips here and there, and it again when it falls into the Marvel DC stuff, I kind of backed away from it because it was like, look, I understand we're getting on this hype of this new thing, which isn't new really. It's just we're bringing it more to life, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I know most of the story. I don't really want to watch any more of it because I'm like, I don't want to go watch another one. That's my attention span I'm bored with it because it's kind of the same thing rehashed over and over, just in different styles. Something new, which is okay.
Well, like, in the case of Marvel, we had the whole 10-year saga. We had 30 movies that told a massive fucking story. A lot of people kind of feel some Marvel burnout after that, and that's kind of understandable because when you went through a whole decade's worth of movies, an entire saga, people are exhausted because that was for some, and that's an entire generation's worth,
Yeah.
Kids grew up to that kind of stuff, but now it's like Black Widow came out. It didn't come out to some great responses, and I'm still gonna see it just because I'm kind of curious about it. But
yeah, I know it'll be one of those I'll watch
really
it later.
Is they really should have did that movie before Endgame, because the fact that we already know she dies at the end of Endgame kind of spoils a lot of the movie.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of got the feeling with is like I just
Hi Nix, how you doing?
Oh, hello dear.
Yeah, so I mean I get it. DC is a different beast, but we'll kind of talk about that later. So we can go on and on, have a whole podcast talking this stuff. But
that'll be next week.
We're here for.
No, I'm kidding. That'll be after this. No, I'm kidding. No, we're not. We'll go into it, and I'll just keep going on, and my brain's gonna go, and then I'm gonna pop up web pages of Transformer stuff again. So I'm not gonna do that to y'all.
Yep. No, we gotta stay on track.
All right. Do we want to get this on with since we've been talking for about a half an hour about all this different stuff?
Yeah, we've been just kind of shooting the shit last 10 minutes here. I mean, we were setting up the first 10, so.
Yeah, I know. I've got the pages running and everything. Oh, I can turn off the music now too because it's just the no copyright stuff. I don't want to get copyright banned or any strikes or whatever.
You got to have a copyright-free playlist.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty much all it is. Just the no copyright thing. I just click on it.
Yeah.
Let it play. I like their music anyway, and it's like shoot them stuff. It's like go see them, give them some love type thing, because they're providing it, and I'll play it. You'll just hear my ads locally until I eventually think about buying a subscription to Spotify, which I should because I listen to a lot of the D&D podcasts still. I've been listening to them a lot at work, so. I should listen to my own, right? Turn it on, listen to us. I'm like, God, we're dorks.
Of course we are, but that's why people should love us, right?
Yeah, but I'll let Dave take over. Just
all right.
Let me my butt off. Oh God, my cushions. Come on.
Welcome back, guys. It's been 3 weeks, I think, since we've had D&D session. Yes, Nix, thank you. We are dorks. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. We took the fourth off, just for vacation reasons, and our poor buddy Blue Visor has been pretty ill lately, so he is gonna be. He's okay. He had pneumonia 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and then this week he separated a rib from his rib cage.
Yeah, I just found that out too. So, yeah.
So, yeah, poor boy's kind of hurting right now, so he's gonna sit this one out. But that's okay. Well, yeah, yeah. We all hope he feels better. We're all sending him well wishes here. So,
Yes, I am getting your messages, Nick. I will respond to you as soon as I can.
but that being said, we're gonna do just a single episode here with Eros, and we're gonna dive a little bit more into uh, a different storyline. So, as always, if you are interested in the game,
Right here.
dndproject.com, they are doing a what they say was a server event. I
I think that
on the
was
page
a
there.
while, or was that recent? Or they're going to be recently. Here we are.
I
Oh,
think
it
it
is
mentioned all of
July's.
July.
Yeah, July's open server month. For the month of July, we are inviting everyone, patron or not, to join us for gameplay sessions on the D&D Destiny Testing Grounds Discord server. Make a first level character or adopt one of our pre-made characters and hop into the Prison of Elders where Rerix the Loyal waits to see who can impress him the most. No experience, no problem. We'll teach you everything you need to know. How about 5e and D and Destiny? See you in prison, Guardians. That's cute. I like that.
Yep. We're not sponsored by these guys or anything like that, but we do want to, support them and show them some love. So this is how we are gonna help support them: is plug their website, plug their event, go give them some love, go join their Discord server, go check it out. I mean, if you want to even if the, you want to try getting into D&D, this might be an opportunity for you to just try it out in a new format, and could be, exciting time. So give it a whirl.
It's all right there. So
Outside of that, is there anything that you have upcoming here that you want to plug before we start? Any stream ideas or anything coming up?
I've been so busy with work, I don't really know yet. I'm getting into that Transformer thing a little just from last night. So I might put together a campaign. If I can
Okay,
get it
so
worked out, I will work on that later, but that'll be a little future thing. Right now,
a
I don't have
possible,
campaign.
one-off, side series D&D campaign that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
might be doing here.
It'll be my
Uh,
first time doing it, so I mean, I'm learning by watching and listening to you, Dave, and a couple other podcasts or shows. Critical one with Matt Mercer. Yes, I watch his. I actually watch his tutorial ones where he explains and teaches about them, and then just listening to general like not another D&D podcast. I can't remember the I can't remember the brothers' names. I will look it up again eventually and try and remember what they were again. Oh, Adventure Zone.
they also
I
recently
think
just
that's
ended their second campaign, so
yeah. I think it's called Adventure Zone. Let me see if I can really quickly.
they have a
But
new tabletop game going on. I think in Exodia or something. I'm
yeah,
forgetting the name of it.
that's another name for it. I can't remember their names though.
I haven't seen anything. I just seen like the thumbnails of the videos. I haven't sat down to watch it yet. But yeah, I know they have a new campaign and they're doing something new over there over at Critical Role. So
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what it was called because I did have it up here. I listened to their one whole campaign, which I really enjoyed because again, it's like how you're telling it, Dave. It pulls me in, it gets me in there. That's what I was listening to, and uh, not another D&D podcast is husband and wife and two other friends of theirs together doing it, and they're really good. It's funny because the husband and wife actually do, I think it's a Netflix series. Yeah, a Netflix series called Hot Date. it's it's messed up because they play multiple characters, and they do a pretty good job. So now I can see why they do D&D, and they change so many characters so fast. Sometimes I'm like, wait, who's who again? Because a couple of them sound similar. I think his name's Jake Hurwitz. I think that's his last name. He played. Actually, I think they finished that one. Hardwin Surefoot in one of their campaigns, and it was just hilarious because he was new to the game as well, and I'm sitting there listening, and he's just going along with it, and just it's funny as ever because it's like, okay, now what? And their stories are good. If I have a hard time listening to a session, it's hard to keep my attention because they're not bringing the story out. It's, I mean, even if I'm sitting waiting, kind of like my turn, I want to hear this story. I want to see how well it's done, because, and also I want to know what happens in the story. If you got me that intrigued, let me hear. Come on. But yeah, I'll figure out theirs because I used to have their thing on my Spotify, and I can't find it now.
All right.
I guess it lost it. But anyway, yeah, I just plugged a bunch of stuff without even plugging it, so there we go.
All right. But anyways, let's jump right into it.
The Euros is here.
So when we last left Uros Shale and Diving Bell, Elias Norwood, and Paradox, the party had just returned from Old Chicago upon learning what was happening in the stadium. The Fallen were building something, although they did not quite get an exact view of it. They returned to request that that we could get 2 strike teams to attack the stadium. While Nikon was beginning to plan this out, preparations needed to be made to assemble 2 strike teams. So this will require some time. And Nikon had asked Elias to recruit additional people for the task. And so he will be off for the next few days recruiting people, while Uros is left to his own devices.
Duh.
So as this is so, he begins to do a little further investigating into the mystery of the Warlord and the project from the Genesis Corporation. So a couple of days have passed, and for the brevity's sake here, we were talking about some stuff that you wanted to pick up on there. So as far as like the explosive arrows that you want to talk about, the bow upgrade, Field Scout.
Oh, I forgot about the bow upgrade.
I've got them all noted here. We're gonna consider all the upgrades pretty much done.
Oh, okay.
The zip line, I think that was something that
would have been
Visor may have mentioned. I just have a note here that says zip line.
Yeah, that was Elias or Visor's character. He wanted something that was powered or something like that, where it would I think repel him.
He was looking for a powered zip line.
So, all I can think of is when he brought that up was Batman. Because he shoots the line and zoom.
That's literally. I'm not even kidding. That's literally what it is. It's a powered zip line. It's a Batman grappling hook.
Oh my god. This will be funny. Okay, so he's because he brought that up because it was after we were in. I think it was the elevator shafts and stuff because he was trying to. It's like, well, we can't exactly go back up very fast. But and so I'm like, that's why he probably wants it, and I'm like, okay, all right.
That's. I mean, he's got the right idea with it, but that's what he was looking for. But yeah, as far as the trick arrows, we were able to create the explosive arrowhead.
Okay, cool.
As far as how many you'll get, you'll actually be getting 6 arrowheads.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So, and I believe it's going to be an additional 1d6 of damage.
Okay.
So whenever you fire your bow, whenever it hits, you're gonna add one, you will add 1d6 of damage.
So I'll have. Well, I won't. Do I have them now, or am I going
Yeah,
to get them?
you're gonna have them now.
Oh,
You can
okay.
go ahead and just add 6 explosive arrowheads to your inventory.
Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah. I gotta remember how to do it on here. So I'm like, yeah.
Yep.
Um, boom arrows. If I spelled that correctly or not, deal with it.
Explosivo.
And then I do have another rifle, which wait, can I
Yep,
add
I
that up
haven't
there?
added that into that yet, but we'll come back to that later
Yeah.
because
So
again,
that, but I have the card that you sent, which is okay. I copied it down just in case too. So
yeah.
I figured then do it later. It's not a big deal. I just keeping up with things. Woo!
Okay. So with
Batman.
that said, Elias has let you know that he's gonna be recruiting people for a few days, so he's just kind of leaving you to the city. You have some time to kill. You've already acquired your items. What would you like to do?
Um, does the city? I'm assuming because it's a city. Would it have some kind of library or history section? Oh, I can't read it anyway. Although I could go there too.
You can read City Common.
Yeah, I could. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's some kind of library around or history that has like a history, like a library of some sort, it would be a library either way. It's just
Right. So you'll be looking more for the Cryptarchy, and at the
okay.
moment, um, it's not necessarily a library per se, but the Cryptarchs are actively decrypting engrams, which are nodes of technology. Um, as far as in like any history, this is kind of where Diving Bell has been digging into in regards to what we're finding with the Warlord and the Journal. Is he has access into these archives to be able to research this sort of stuff. So
Oh, that's right. I keep
he
forgetting
he's
he
kind of more
can.
your relay into like a library of information because he's
Okay.
got access to a data stream to get this information faster than you do.
Yeah. Okay. I keep forgetting he can be linked up to that kind of stuff. Also, I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was digital like information or if it was like hard copy paper or not. So that's why I was asking
It
because
varies. I mean, right now in the current state of the city, it's for people who know this the last city in game. The city in its current state right now is maybe an eighth of the size. It is quite small compared to what it is in game currently. So that
okay.
we're very far back in basically in the infancy of the last city itself. So at the moment, there's not really any kind of a place that would be like a library per se. There are schools for children that do teach children, the basic, arithmetic, language, social experience, like the basic school stuff that you would go through as a child. They have those there. There isn't really anything like that in the last city, but there are libraries and depositories of like servers of data scattered about the world that are still able to be accessed in some way or another. You
Okay.
That's where Diving Bell does have access to some of these archives already.
Okay.
So I mean, if you have questions that you're looking for specifically, you would basically relay them through Diving Bell if you're looking for like archival information.
Yeah. Okay. So, uh, where am I at right now in the city?
So right now you basically be at your apartment.
Okay. Uh,
You're, I mean, we can just say that you're waking up here like after your debrief.
yeah. Okay.
Um, Elias has left to go recruit people. So this is the very next day. You kind of have free. You've already acquired your stuff. You've got some free time on your hands. Diving Bell is doing some more research into the journal. He's doing some digging. At the moment, if in the apartment he is kind of sifting through some data. He's looking over a book right now.
Okay, I'm gonna ask him a question here. Hey, DB. Tink, tink, tink. I have a
And
question for you.
he's pretty fixated in the book, and he just kind of turns like, huh?
Hey, I need to ask you some questions if you can help me.
Oh, sure, sure. And he kind of spins around.
Do you have any information on this Project Genesis other than what we have, hinting at the book that with all the formulas in it?
That's actually the book that he was looking over,
Oh,
and he goes,
oh,
well, I have come up with a journal entry. And
is,
he kind of floats over to a data pad on the desk, and
I was gonna
you
say,
see a
is there
little
one?
you just kind of like a little beam of light shoots into the pad, just
I pick it
and you
up.
see the pad light up.
Yeah, I go pick it up
Okay,
because I want to see it.
so I'm gonna send you this on Discord,
I gotta find my Discord.
and I'm gonna actually have you read
All
this.
right, bring it to the right page so I can see it.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, I gotta read it as Euros. This is going to be fun. Sometimes I come across sounding vampire. Don't. I'm not. Here we go. Let's see. Whoa. Okay, you're gonna have me read a lot. Let's see. Numbers. Probably data entry. And this is City Common, right? He
Yeah,
translated
you
it.
can read this in City Common.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure I don't go off and read English when I can't yet.
Yeah, no,
Yet.
he's translated this for you, so you can read it.
Dr. R. Pulaski, Chief Scientist and Project Lead. Project Entry 37. This will be my final log of Project Redacted. The results of the exercise, although a success, brought about some difficult discussion among the scientists. To start, this device can be used as a doomsday device. Oh, shit. If this device were to be used on Earth-like planet, it would destroy all life on the planet before it would begin the rebirth process. While the intention is to use this on a dead planet, if a suitable planet could not be found, the fact remains that this could be used as a weapon of war. The ethics implications alone are giving some among the group to cause to step back. I myself am among them. When we began this project, the goal was to create a way to build a home from nothing, turning nothing or something dead like Earth's moon into a thriving, habitable world, but in the process would create a way to snuff out all life on a planet, all the way down to the cellular level. Ray may be fine dealing in such unethical practices, but I won't take part in it any longer. Long pause. I can't, in good conscience, permit this device to be taken into space. We cannot allow our desperation to find a new home blindly lead us into a potential genocide, if not several. It will be forwarding, or I will be forwarding, oh man, all relevant details to our facilities in London for further study. All of my handwritten notes will be kept under lock and key here at the facility, and I've ordered the device destroyed. The garden will remain as we continue to study the plant life created by the rebirth process. We will continue to report on our findings of the garden as we make our discoveries. Perhaps we can find some form of food replication that could help us survive beyond our solar system. End log. Personal note. Gemma was right all along. It is a scientific dream to be able to terraform a planet, but we aren't the ones to decide where it's used. Can we really trust the one in charge to use it ethically? Holy crap, DB. um,
EB is looking down and goes, "This is a lot heavier than I originally thought."
yes, And this was in the formula book?
No, I was able to pull this out of a Golden Age archive.
Was there any other entries so far, or was this it so far?
This is the only intact entry I was able to locate.
Intact?
The data has been pretty corrupted. This was out of a Golden Age server from hundreds of years ago.
Oh.
It's amazing we were able to find this data incomplete, in the form that it was.
Was there anything in that formula book?
He turns back to the formula book and goes, there is, but I still can't make sense of it. It's mathematical equations and formulas, but I don't know how to put it to practical use. It's way above my understanding.
Let's just keep this under wraps for the moment. Still, if this is, if this can be used as weapon, then we may have a bigger problem, because if this warlord has been trying to find or has found some parts of it, and this warlord, if they are still around somewhere, we may have a bigger problem.
He nods knowingly. I feel like we may already be facing a future problem.
Yes. Maybe it would be best to bring this entry to the council.
He kind of stares for a moment back at the book and goes,
not the book, just this entry.
well, we don't have a solid connection, and we could be just chasing a ghost right now. This is an entry from a very long time ago. And I mean, he kind of goes back to the book, and he's kind of pacing a little bit. He's trying to figure it out. He goes, we're following in the footsteps of something here, but I'm worried if we keep walking along the path, we're eventually going to catch up to it.
London. He said he had information locked up in London? Or at least not, it wasn't in London, but he sent information to London. Where is London?
London is on another side of the world.
Oh.
Unfortunately, London, and DB kind of sinks to this a little bit. There's really not much left of London, unfortunately.
So there would be nothing possibly left there.
I mean, we could always go look, but... And he kind of turns back to you and goes, London's a wasteland.
Okay.
It was burned down by the Fallen a long time ago in a very, very bloody battle.
Do we know where this data entry came from? Like, location-wise?
And he kind of goes back, he goes, well, this is from a server in Europe. Not necessarily in London. Somewhere in the European Dead Zone. Can't exactly pinpoint where, though.
Without this pinpoint, at least a location, it would be hard to find. It'd be like needle in haystack then.
I agree. It mentioned the garden, and he goes, that's that forest that we saw in the cave, right?
I'm thinking the same thing too, DB. I was wondering about that. It has to be.
People in Stonehorn were living off of off of the fruits inside the cave.
And if it's been how long? At least, 100 or so years? Or more?
Mm-hmm.
I think the results are pretty good if they've been living off of that stuff.
But there may be more to it than that. And he turns back to the book. We don't know what reports that they had regarding the plant life after this so-called rebirth process. We don't know what it contains.
We may have to go back and look some more and ask some more questions. And I
It
forgot
might
the
be a good
gal's name.
idea.
I forgot the one gal's name that was down there. I gotta find my book. I had it
Yeah, there's a few people there.
here. Yeah, there is, and I know if I go back, I'm going to open up a can of worms because they're gonna see me as a guardian. Third hangover. We could go back and talk to the one lady who was down in the lab, if I can find her. Dr. Julia Brown. That's her name. I had that written down somewhere.
Yep. Well, we could always go back and talk to them and see if they learned anything from the book itself.
The problem is they still don't know I'm a guardian, and they didn't exactly like the idea of guardians. At least not all of them, but some of them.
And DB goes, "That's okay. I don't have to be around for this one. I can just hide in the backpack." But
Yes,
I
but
think it's worth going back and asking some questions.
yes, I agree. We're going to have to, and if I have to reveal I am a guardian, then I will deal with that consequence on my own. But I meant no harm in not telling them, and I do want them to survive. I just don't want trouble coming to find them, but I have this bad feeling that it's coming either way, and they need to know.
DB just kind of looks down a little bit, goes, "Yeah. So I think we should go help them."
Yes. Why don't we start prepping and getting ready to go? Do I need to pick up anything? Oh no, I already have the upgrades and the arrows. He's already told me that.
Yep, yep.
Um,
So you've pretty much, and you're restocked on ammo, so you're pretty good right now. Unless there's something else you want to grab or any tools you wanted or anything.
what do I have right now on me? I've got that. I'm trying to think. I was just thinking like lock picking. Can I do lock picking? I don't. And would it be worth it? I mean, I don't know what kind of lock picking would do in here, so.
I don't believe you have any proficiencies with
I
lockpicking.
don't see it on here
Um,
either.
no. I mean, DB
What else do I have?
can open most locked doors,
That's
if,
right, he
especially if they're
can.
electronic doors.
Okay, never mind that.
So yeah, he's more of your lockpick in that kind of a scenario, but he'll have to pop out of the backpack to do so.
Can I get a copy of Riser's Batman grapple hook? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't. I'm gonna keep calling it that
I
now.
don't think you're gonna need it here, but I
No,
mean, if
it'd be funny as ever just to have.
you wanna come flying in like Batman.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna leave that to him, and I'm gonna go. Look, it's Batman. I looked at comics. Sorry. No. I guess. No. I guess there's nothing really else. Maybe. Do I have anything like? What do I have for food? Didn't I write that
You've got
down?
rations.
Oh, do I
I
still
mean, if you
have 6 days of rations? I got 2 days of soup, 5 days of meat. I just realized I don't think I've really used any of that, except for the. It was 7 days of rations, and I guess
you
I used
should
one.
have used, I think, 1 day of rations because
Bec-
you should have at least used for one for the day you were in Old Chicago.
okay, so I'm gonna because I had 7. I used one. I don't remember. I think it was just outside of Old Chicago. Remember, I camped out. Didn't I use it there?
Yeah, but then you should have had another ration because you stayed
This,
the night in the tower.
yeah, okay, so I have 5
So
instead
yeah,
of 6.
you should be down to 5 days worth.
Okay, there. I'm gonna try and put that on the sheet up there so I can keep track of it too. That way,
Hmm.
I'll figure it out later. But I got it written down. I just want to make sure I keep track. I want to do this right. Okay,
Yeah,
so I've got
because I mean,
enough rations and food then, because I got 2 days of soup, 5 days of meat still, a blanket, just in case. That,
and
oh,
plus, like if you're a hunter, in worst case
yeah,
scenario, you can always go hunting for food
go get the food. Come here. No.
if something bizarre were to happen.
All right, so I guess we head to the hangar then, and get the ship ready to go, if it's not already ready.
Okay, so because you're a guardian now, you are gonna end up having to create a flight plan and let the ATC know where you're gonna be going. So, you are you gonna file that flight plan to go all the way out there, or I'm assuming that's what you would want to do.
Mm, yes. And if they ask why, I'm just following a lead, seeing what it might be about, and
Okay,
checking on some
it's
friends.
well, I'll just say this: it's not really a questionable thing for a hunter to just kind of go off into the wilds. This is
Okay,
a
then I'll
pretty
just.
normal thing for a hunter to do, so it's not really anything that anyone's questioning. It's just for the sake of ATC, they do request a flight plan be created for all flights.
That's fine. I'll,
So
but I won't make it directly to the town. Just kind of nearby in a wooded area or something like that.
that's fine. I
Yeah,
mean,
not there,
you
because I again this town is already gonna probably see me approach, and they're already gonna go on, huh?
that depends on how you want to approach.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Let's just make it to just outside of the town somewhere. Just they will be able to see me approach anyway, because I figure I'll try and keep. Oh no, yeah, I'll come in and just nearby, and they'll probably hear the ship anyway. But if they see it, then they see it. I'm gonna be eventually having to reveal myself a bit here, so I know I will.
Well,
It'll be fun.
so DB will make this suggestion of let's park the ship a few kilometers away and then approach by Sparrow.
True. I don't want to park it in the town itself. That would be really awkward.
Yeah, you don't want to really give away your hand if you're trying to hide the fact you're a guardian.
Yes.
All right.
Oh.
So you create the flight plan with control and you depart without any issues. So you'll be setting your ship down about 5 kilometers south of the town, and this will allow you to set up your Sparrow and to travel on ground for the remaining portion of the area.
Okay.
Okay. So,
When I get out of the ship, when I was landing, did we observe anything unusual around the area? I just realized I want to
um,
kind of make a check around just to make sure
sure.
things.
So make a perception check.
Perception. What is my perception? I gotta find perception. There it is. Oops, I can't even see that.
16. Okay, that's pretty good.
Ooh.
So on approach, you don't really see anything out of the ordinary. It's a cloudy day right now. Um, it's a bit warm, up in the mid 70s. Not too terribly much is active at the moment. So as far as you can tell on the approach and the landing zone on there, nothing remarkable is happening.
Okay, cool. Alright. So just find a good spot to land and go ahead and start getting out and getting the Sparrow ready.
All right. So, uh, DB will land the ship and uh, basically pop out the Sparrow there, and he goes, "Well, I'll actually send the ship back up, and we'll put it in orbit, so that way, if we need to fly out of here, it'll come down and pick us up."
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's better if we don't leave it down here too.
Yep. And I think putting it into orbit might be a better idea because, and he kind of looks around. Still might be fallen patrolling the area.
Yes, after the last time we dealt with. Ugh. But let's get heading up to the town. Let's call it a village. It is a village.
Yeah, I mean it's basically
both.
a village.
It's a small
It
town
is.
village. Okay, so we
All right.
start driving. Sorry.
Yeah. So you do begin your long drive up there, and you do see the familiar walls that do defend the town as you approach, and you do see a familiar head peeking out across the wall, and he's kind of looking as you approach. Hello?
So I stop the Sparrow just outside and hop off, and I'm assuming I still have my helmet on.
Yeah,
It's a
your
helmet?
helmet is currently on.
Okay, so I take it off and wave up to him. Hello.
Oh, hey, Eros! Welcome back.
Who am I looking at, by the way? Do I know him?
Um, you might have you might have remembered him a little bit from your visits in the bar. You can't really remember his name specifically, but he's one of the familiar faces of the people that you've met around here as you stayed for a couple of days.
Ah, okay. So random. Okay, yeah, okay. Just seeing if it's somebody. Hey, I thought I'd come back and see how you guys are doing, and also find out some more stuff.
Oh, sure, come on in. And the doors slowly open for you.
And then I guess, push the Sparrow in, or can I? I could probably ride it in.
Yeah, you can take it back over to the garage.
Yeah, and just park it.
Yeah.
I'll park it near the garage. I don't want to park it in there. It might come parts if I'm not careful, right? No, he's a good guy in there. Good builder.
Yeah. So, do you remember
What
who was in there for you? Who built your Sparrow?
Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen. Yes.
Yes, I have my stuff written down. I
So
really kept my notes.
As
so.
you go park your Sparrow in the garage, you see Mr. Allen pop his head up above a Sparrow that he's working on. Oh, hey, Eros. Welcome back.
Hello, Mr. Allen. The Sparrow worked out great and still is working out great.
And he kind of tilts his head. Did you bring it back to me to fix it?
Oh, absolutely not. You did a fine job on it, sir.
And he kind of smirks a little bit at that. And he starts going back to work. So what brings you back to town?
Well, I thought I'd come back and check on you all and maybe do some more information, like check on the stuff that's going on in your cave, and maybe just ask some more questions around here about that stuff. But also, you think you can upgrade the Sparrow a little more?
He kind of stands back up and goes, "Well, that's a lot of baggage there, ain't it? Not much has really been going on. Patrols are still about where they were last time you left. Haven't really come close here so far.
Okay, well that can
As
be
far as
good.
the cave, what are you trying to learn about that?"
Well, it is an interesting thing. I haven't told anybody about it, and I said I would keep that quiet. But there's some stuff that's come up at the city. I might need to talk to Jack about, and maybe a few others.
The city.
Yes, last city. The big one. Well, sort of big. It's not that big. It's big enough. I came from there. I made it, and there's some stuff that has come up, and I would say I would bring information back or send it back, well, I'm here. I'm sending it back. I want to make sure you're all okay out here.
Well, that's more Jack's territory than mine anyway, so why don't you go talk to him about all that.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Allen. But think you can upgrade my Sparrow, make it a little faster?
He looks at it, goes, I'll give her a look over, see what I can do.
You did a
No
fine job.
promises. And he just kind of pats you on the back and gets back to work.
Well, you did a fine job the last time. I'll see you later, Mr. Allen.
See you later.
I go find Jack.
All right. So at the moment, you will find Jack sitting in his office, talking with his buddies, Daniel and James.
They were.
And he goes, well, 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 look what the cat dragged in.
I see no
And he
cat,
stands
but
up.
I'm here.
And he stands up and walks up to you, his hand stretched out. Welcome back, Mr. Uros.
Give him a firm handshake back. It is good to be back, Mr. Jack.
What brings you back here to my village?
I said I would find out information when I got to the city. I got there and I met another person who we were sent out on a mission, and there's some information that has come up, and I said I would come back. Nobody still knows about the stuff out here, but there's some information that seems to coincide with your location here.
Go inside. What kind of information?
Well, something to do with the project down in your caves. Project Genesis?
There's a quiet that comes over the room when you say that.
That's what I was waiting for. Yes, this name came
Daniel
up.
and James kind of look to each other, and they kind of look back at Jack, and Jack just he kind of nods them to leave the room, and they quietly walk out.
Did I say something?
Not many people know that particular phrase.
Yeah.
How'd you know about that?
We were sent out on this mission, and we ended up in a building where getting there was interesting, but that's another story. There was paperwork there. A little friend of mine had to translate it for me, but it came up with the words Project Genesis, and I remember your cave. Now, again, nobody knows of the information here. I kept my word on that. But it may come out either way because it is involving a possible bigger situation.
Jack moves back over to his desk and he sits back down. So what's the situation?
Planet destroying, rebirth, but it would kill all life on this planet if it's done, or any other planet with life on it.
He's just raising an eyebrow as you're saying this, just like, interesting.
Yes.
Well, there's not exactly anything world-ending in that cave there. It's just it's a forest.
It's what it can do, though. It's how it is created. It has to destroy to create. It's like a bomb. It could be used and it will explode. But depending on what energy is used, it could be used for good as well. What can be used for good can be used for evil. And in this case, the scientists, I'm just finding little bits here and there. With the help of my little friend, we've come across some information, and I'm hoping that if you give me permission to go back to the cave, maybe look some more stuff over, ask some more questions of the Dr. Julia Brown down there. If maybe there's something else. They were very scared of this. They destroyed the project from what was told, but I don't think it was fully destroyed.
He crosses his arms and sits back in his chair. So you think Dr. Brown may be sitting on a bomb and we have no idea?
Well, it's kind of a bomb. Um, Literally, what the thing would do would it would destroy all life on a planet. It can even create from a dead planet life, but if there's already pre-existing life, it will kill it all. It will destroy it. Then it will be all started over, but the existing life is gone. So it is technically a bomb as well. Or such a bomb. At least a planet destructive thing.
Jack's just kind of shaking his head like,
I'm,
you are using so many words here. So what you're telling me is that there's this bomb that can somehow grow life, but if it's used on life, it just kills it?
yes. It's not a bomb, but it's some kind of device that it just starts life over on a planet. That's as much as I've got.
Scratches his head, just goes, ugh.
Yes, Jack, there's a lot there. Even I was surprised. When the word Genesis came up, I knew what that was, but I had to wait. I haven't said anything to anybody, not even the person who helped me get to the city, and even the Vanguard. I have not talked to them about this.
He's gonna make a perception check on you.
Yes, because I just opened up something there.
You did.
I did it on purpose.
There we go. That's going to the bag.
Ooh. He's gonna roll a real one.
So are you being deceitful in any way in this?
No.
In your statement? Okay.
I am being honest with them, like I've been. I just didn't tell them before. That's all. Because they never asked, "Are you a guardian?"
He's looking at you with a certain degree of suspicion.
Jack, I know
but he's willing to listen to you.
Jack, I know there's something I have not told all of you because of the way people have talked about it. And I have been honest up to a point. I just didn't say anything. And yes, I know I said Vanguard.
You're working with the last city.
That was part of my missions while I was there. I know people out here don't like Guardians. I just wanted to help all of you because you helped me. But I didn't want to cause more problems, so... And I kind of had... DB, why don't you make yourself known to Mr. Jack here? These people deserve to know.
And DB reluctantly comes out the package, shifts right beside you, and just kind of looks at Jack, and Jack looks to you, looks at the ghost. He just kind of sits back and goes,
This is
feeling about you.
This is Diving Bell, Jack.
Had a feeling about you.
Sorry, Jack. I never meant to be deceitful in any way. I kept my word, though. I did not tell anybody about this place. And I do not wish to have anybody here hurt. This is why I came back when I found this information out.
Jack points to DB and goes, "You better go back, little buddy."
Do as he
And
says.
Diving Bell just goes back in the pack and goes, "I don't have a problem with this, but I think there are people in town who would."
Yes, I prefer not to do any harm. If in any way, I don't want to cause you any trouble.
I agree.
Uh,
So, that being said, I'll let you go talk to Dr. Brown, but you don't let that little guy get seen.
Gotcha, Jack. I understand. I will keep DB under wraps. He knows it's not safe. I've been trying to be very discreet while here.
Do you know why they feel the way they feel about Guardians?
From the story as I've heard in the past, I think
So
I
Jack,
kind of get
as
some.
you're talking, he reaches into a drawer and he pulls out a cigar and he looks it over a little bit, goes, "Some of the people around here have been alive for a very long time. And not all of them were born here. Some of them came from other villages and other places trying to escape, trying to find refuge. Unfortunately, for some of them, they happen to see the worst of things and experience the worst of things."
Yes.
I never lived through them personally. I've only heard the stories, but I believe what I've heard. And I think they're right to be worried. That being said, I know not all of you are bad. I've seen a few of you do good. But I also think everyone's motivations are as different as anyone else out in the world. I've met you. I've spent time with you. I trust you. I know you're good people. You have a good heart in you. It really, really shows. You wear it on your sleeve. I think there's truth to what they say. But the reality is that I've never seen it myself. And I hope that I never do. There are strange things that happen in this world, son. I hope we can live through to see it all to the end. He lights up the cigar and just sits back. Go find what you're looking for.
I will, Jack. I will, as like I said, I will keep my word. I will do my best to keep this place out of harm's way, but like I said, it may come here whether you like it or not. But I will try and help protect the people here. Even if they
So,
don't like me, I will still try.
so he lights the cigar and he takes a couple of puffs off of it, lets the smoke just slowly exhale out. I've always had that feeling that the ghosts of Christmas past have come back to haunt us, right?
Haunt, yes. I may not know where I've come from, but I know where I'm going. Even if it's sometimes a little iffy on certain spots, I still have a direction and a purpose. But I will find out what I can, and I will keep you all up to date on it.
He nods solemnly and goes, "Do what you gotta do, son. I trust you."
Alright, Jack. I will see you later. I'll go talk to Dr. Brown and see what's going on. Maybe there's something there.
He nods and just kind of waves you off. And he just sits there with a cigar and just takes another couple of puffs off of it.
I walk out the door and head over to, I guess it was it in Mr. Allen's shop it went through? Or
Yeah. So
okay.
you go back over to through there, and then the entrance into the cave would be in the back end.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I figure I'd
All
just
right.
walk on through. He's doing whatever.
Yep. So you walk back over to the garage, and you do see Mr. Allen continuing to work back there. He's not really paying you any mind. So you make your way into the back. It's pretty quiet back here right now. There's not really a whole lot of sounds. The offices in the back are pretty quiet. It's currently uh getting into the evening, so there's not a whole lot of activity happening in there to begin with, because it's turning into the night.
Mm-hmm.
But you do happen to find Dr. Brown sitting back in her office, sitting back with a there's stacks of papers on her desk, just stacks as high as your computer tower.
Holy crap.
Just all in front of her desk, and she's sitting in the middle of it, looking over another stack of papers. And her hair is completely messed up. She looks like she's been in here for probably a couple of days, just going over page after page after page.
Okay. I knock kind of on the. Is the door open? Is
Oh,
there a
yep,
door?
the door is open.
Okay, so I knock on the frame of the door. Ting ting ting. Hello, Doctor Brown.
And she just jumps. Ah!
Oh, sorry. I did not mean to scare
Oh,
you.
oh, oh God! I've had too much coffee.
Are you okay?
What time is it?
It's
And she's kind of
late.
looking around. What?
Well, it's getting kind of dark out, so. Are you
And she
okay?
looks down her watch, and her eyes kind of widen. Oh my God! And she just wipes her hands over her head. Oh my God! What? Oh, what? Oh my God! I've been reading for 18 hours.
18 hours?
And she like kind of like points her hands out, like, do you not see the stack of papers like around my desk?
Yes, I see papers. I'm just surprised you read for 18
Do you
hours
not?
straight.
I found all of this.
You found it? Where?
There was a lock in the lockbox that we had down in the bottom of the facility. There's a whole, and she's just like, there's more down there, and there's all this. I
There's
just,
more?
there's,
What does
oh
it. Okay, doctor?
my God.
Uh,
Who can write this much? This is insanity. This is not even a novel. This is.
that's
And
like
she
a
goes back
mini
to the stack
library.
and goes, "This is theoretical physics and uh, just all kinds of stuff that just I can't make sense of."
Okay, doc. So, how about this? What have you learned? And it's good to see you again, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, and she stands up and kind of cracks her neck a little bit and tries to fix her hair and goes, "Well, uh, what I've learned, well, there's uh, there's a whole process by which these plants were grown that we don't really understand, because Normal plants require light and photosynthesis to absorb energy and to create, fruit. This is a very natural process, but the process by which the plants that grow in the cave are unusual. And and she kind of goes back over the papers. I'm trying to figure out how they made this.
Does it say any particular name?
And she starts flipping back through the pages. Uh, it starts with a P. Um,
Like a Dr. P. Pulaski or R. Pulaski?
Pulaski. Yes, yes. And she's looking. I saw that name somewhere, and she's flipping through stacks and stacks, and just like, yeah,
She's
here. And she pulls out a paper with a journal entry that does have the name Dr. Roman Pulaski.
interesting. So I came back for some information, more of it really, and also to update everyone here on what was going on. I've already talked to Jack, Doctor, and
About what?
about this, and I point toward the papers, and then I gesture toward the cave.
You you think there's a connection?
Yes, I made it to the city. I was sent out on a couple of missions. A name came up. I did not say anything about this to anybody there. As I have told Jack, I want the people
Okay.
here to be safe, but whatever is going on with there may end up here because of this, what you're looking at. Do I have that, like, tablet thing that I had?
Did you bring it with you?
I didn't know if I put it down or not. That was the thing. I was like, I probably still had it in my I or don't I keep one on
I
me?
would just assume you put it down after reading it.
Okay, well then maybe I.
But if you want, DB can pull out another copy for you.
Do I have one on me though? Like a device that I can do that?
I'm gonna say no because you didn't declare it after you left.
Yeah. Okay, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
Um, Let me think. Real quick. Of all the papers, what have you found out so far about this project? This gives me time to think how to.
Well, she goes, well, there's something, there's a process by which these are created that, and she starts going back to the stack in here, and she pulls out a stack of papers, and she's going, and there's graphs and there's charts and there's mathematical formulas in here, but she goes, you know, I have a degree in theoretical physics. I understand quantum physics. This right here don't make any sense to me. And she hands it to you.
I don't even know what I'm looking at, but would D be able to see what I'm looking at?
If you let him examine it.
Would he be able
He's
to?
gonna have to come out of the backpack to examine it, though.
Okay. Um, Hang on. I don't know what I'm looking at, Doctor.
Welcome to my world. And
Uh,
I'm supposed to be the one who knows things.
I might be able to bring somebody who might be able to help a little bit, but
Well,
there's a
and
problem.
she just kind of sits back in the chair, just defeated. Goes, if you can think of anything that's gonna make any of this make sense, you go right ahead.
Doctor, I know a lot of people don't like guardians. What is your take on them?
And she kind of she's not really changing an expression. She's just tired. She's like, I mean, they're uh, they're fine, I guess. I mean, I've never met one, so I guess I don't really know.
Now, is anybody else down in the lab right now, or is it just her?
No, it's just her in this office right now.
So if I close the door to the office, nobody
Make
would
a
be able to see.
perception check before you close that
Yeah,
door.
because I'd like to know. 14? Is that right?
14. Yep.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, there's nobody there.
Okay. I'm just going to close the door anyway, quietly, and uh, Doctor, I am trusting you just like Mr. Jack. I don't want to cause these people harm, nor you or anyone. I'm here to help.
He's just
And
looking up at you like, what are you going to do?
DB, can you come out, please?
And you hear DB audibly just go,
I know,
okay.
DB, it's okay.
And he pops out, and
Hi, Doc.
Julia's eyes just kind of go a little bit wide and go, oh,
Dr. Brown, this is Diving Bell, DB for short. He's the little
hi.
friend who's been helping me. I'm trusting you with
And
this.
she stands up and starts to walk towards DB, and she starts like looking at it like closely.
Yes, that's my ghost. He's my
What
friend.
piece of technology are you?
DB, you would have a better answer on that one.
Diving Bell just goes, I'm a ghost. And he kind of like scoots back a bit, like, I don't. He doesn't really understand, like,
He,
why is she looking at me so closely? Like, this is kind of getting a little weird.
DB, it's okay. She's curious. You can
Uh,
see the look on her face.
oh, okay. And he kind of moves forward a little bit and lets Julia examine him. And she just walks around him when she's got a hand on her chin a little bit, and she's just studying him, looking him from the left and to the right, looks underneath him, waves her hand up top, like checking to see if there's like a wire holding him up.
He's not a puppet.
And she waves the hand underneath him.
And then there's no stick underneath. Still no puppet.
How are you? And she like starts like waving her hands around the ghost. How are you floating?
And I put my hands to kind of put my hands on her arms. He just does that. Let's
There's
stay
no
focused.
propulsion. There's no jets. Like how? And she's like, she's and DB's like, his eyes are like, okay, I'm feeling a little claustrophobic here.
Okay,
And she's just like,
I put
how?
her
There's
arms
no
down.
propulsion. Like how is he? There's no like, how is
I
he?
kind of step in between him and her. It's like, hey, easy. Let's calm down. You're meeting
I'm
a guard.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's
Breathe,
fine. It's just it's
doctor.
fine.
Take a deep breath.
Ah,
You just
mhm.
met a guardian. Hello. I'm a guardian, but I'm asking you to keep this secret like Jack is too. He's knows that people don't like guardians much here, and I don't want to cause anybody problems, but I am here to help. There is possibility of a big problem that may come here no matter what happens. I have kept information a secret. This is one against me for all of you because I did not tell anybody I am a guardian. I just didn't want to cause any problems. I did have DB copy your book, or that book that was there, but nobody has the information. DB's kept it secret. I am here
Okay.
to find out more information about this project because. And I walk over to her desk. Does she have one of those, like, PDA, like, tablet thingies?
Yep, she does. So you do see one on the back of her desk on that that's currently inactive.
And I pick it up and I go, DB, can you transfer mm, that message that Dr.
Yeah.
Pulaski so
And
she could.
he's like, yeah, absolutely. And he comes over and you see the little beam of light shoot into the tablet.
Thank you,
The
little buddy.
tablet turns on and boom,
And then I
text message pops up.
turn around and hand it to Dr. Brown.
All right,
This is
so
why I came here. Is first things I found out about, and I say the words Project Genesis because it came up in the mission I was sent out with another person on. I didn't say anything to anybody, but DB just found this
science
information.
office.
So
And she takes the tablet and she starts reading it over. Oh no.
yes, doctor, this is. I don't want you all being hurt, but I have a bad feeling something may be coming this way, whether you like it or not.
And she's still reading over the message and the garden. She looks back over to the window that looks out into the forest there and goes,
Yes.
oh, ah.
DB, while she's doing that, can you take a look at a few of those papers and see if maybe you can pick up anything about it?
I'll give it a shot. And he goes back over to a stack of papers and he starts to examine them.
I want to make sure nobody's coming around. Can I just take a look around to see if anybody's come down? I want
Yeah,
to make
make a
sure our
perception
hear,
check
be
to
able to hear
make a
or see.
perception check to peek out the window.
Yeah, and listen too, because I want to see if I can hear anything. I know I have the door closed, but
Sure, sure. Okay.
ooh,
18.
18.
That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, so you peek out the window. You're not hearing or seeing anyone come down the hallway there.
Okay, good. Just don't want to be found right now. I know, again, a lot of people don't like guardians. So, just making sure, Doc. Sorry.
And she just kind of sighs, like, "No, it's fine. It's you know who you're talking about. We've all heard the stories."
I know. I've learned some stuff while at the city as well. A new friend, partner that I've been put with, um, kind of filled me in some details there as well, and some others. Just I'm still learning a lot, but when I found this out, Dee and I decided to come back. We said we would bring information back or send it. Well, it's here and I'm here. So I brought somebody to help and I point toward DB. And I go, he might be able to find some information about what's going on here.
She kind of nods a little bit and then walks over to the door and hits a little switch that engages a shade over the windows.
Thank you, Doctor.
We got a little bit of time before anyone might come down here, so.
You said this was only part of the stuff you found?
Mm-hmm. And she, like, her eyes, like, kind of look down, and you instantly kind of see, like, the bags of her eyes just kind of, like, darken just a little bit more, like,
I put my hand on her shoulder and I go, Doc, I'm here to help. We are here to help. We'll try and do what we can. Maybe ease your workload a little bit, maybe streamline it so you can understand it better. Because I have no idea what I'm looking at.
I don't think any of us are really going to understand entirely what we're looking at, but we'll see.
Well, Doctor, you have a brilliant mind. I think you'll figure it out at some point here. I just hope it's not going to be too late for whatever somebody's trying to plan.
Jean just kind of tilts her head at that. You really think we're in danger?
I wouldn't. have come back if I didn't think there was something other than just information. I am worried about the people here. You are the first ones when I was brought back. Other than one other person, you're all the ones I found, and you all helped me. And I want to return that as much as I can. Help all of you. And whatever is coming, I hope we can stop whatever it is, or keep the people here safe as possible. But right now, DB's gonna look through the papers. How fast can he read those papers, by the way?
Very, very fast. So
Okay.
he's gonna be able to speed read through a lot of these faster than any human would. So
So if we look over at him, he's like just kind of thing.
you know, I mean, I know you're gonna understand the reference, but Johnny Five.
Oh my god, he is doing that. I can see it now. Except for in ghost form and a little light going.
Need input.
Yeah. Okay. DB, how are you doing over there? And I almost imagine as I say that he's just finishing the little stack. It's like, never mind.
And he just looks up at you, goes, I don't understand any of this yet, and goes right back to it. And
Let me know when you're done. As soon as we're done, maybe the doctor can take us down to see the rest of it. And maybe we can speed this up a little bit. Maybe would her tablet be able to hold all that information?
Well, I mean, we're basically digitizing, text. So yeah, it's not. I mean, it's just this is all in a hard copy document, like paper.
Yeah, but I mean, if DB's being able to read it, he could technically transfer it to a tablet for her, so she could just sit there and be able to go through it without having all the papers being. I'm trying to help her out.
It's something he could certainly do. I mean, he's basically create it into a data pack, and he was gonna compress it and send it back to the city.
Well, I don't want him sending it just yet because they don't really know why I'm there. So
no, I mean, when I say he's sending it to the city, I'm not saying he's sending it to the Vanguard. I'm saying he's sending it to his trusted sources.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. No, all right. I kind of, Doc, maybe DB can put this on your tablet instead, and it might be easier for you to go through instead of having to bring all these papers up every time. Would that help you a little?
At least help us. It would definitely help us to be able to organize and sort everything to make sure it's in proper order too.
Well, I think DB is probably doing that now, and I just look over grinning, going, yeah. Okay. So he might be able to help you with that too, so it might help you a little faster. That way you can figure out what's going on a little better for yourselves here too. This is...
And she's just kind of looking at him, at a DB, and then looks back at Uros and goes, okay. And she's starting to actually show signs of just how tired she actually is.
Okay, how far along?
She's coming into a caffeine crash right now. She's like, okay, that's awesome.
Okay, hey Doc.
Yeah.
One last thing. The room you were talking where you found all this, where's that at?
She takes the big ol' yawn. It's downstairs. And she just kind of points out the window down to the forest area. You have to go through the forest to get in there, but it's down that way.
Okay, why don't you lay down? Does she have like a couch in her office there or something?
Nope.
Nope. Oh God. Well, why don't you go lay down and we'll take a look at it and we'll have it put on your data pad for you here.
Yeah, sounds great. I'm gonna go sleep now. And she just she starts rubbing her face and just starts walking out the door.
And I quickly, hey Doc, when's the next
Mm-hmm.
person supposed to be coming down here?
Uh, um, I mean, anyone can come down here, and
Right.
soon. And she looks at her watch and goes, "No one really comes works in here at night anymore except me." But,
That's right. It's
I mean,
nighttime. Okay.
yep.
Well, I'll still be careful. I don't want to cause any of you a problem. So,
Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And she just kind of waves and opens the door, kind
night,
of peeks
Doc.
out again just to make sure no one was there, and then she goes, "I'll make sure your little buddy there is hidden away when you leave."
Absolutely, Doctor. I will. Thank you.
And she just nods and quietly closes the door.
Well, that was interesting, DB. How do you feel?
And he just kind of stops reading and goes, don't ever let anyone get that close to me again, please.
Gotcha,
That was
DB.
very uncomfortable."
All right, little buddy. Let's. How much more you got there to do? And then we'll go check out the rest.
He's finished the entire large stack on the right side of the table, and he's pretty much starting to work on the left side.
Holy crap! All right. I just look around her office a bit, but also keeping an eye out, an ear out as well.
Yeah.
You said she has the the blind thing or the frosted
Yeah,
glass or
she
whatever
she
turned on.
engaged a shade over her window,
Okay.
so yeah, no one can really peek in.
All right. So I'm just looking around her office, seeing what's around. Just kind of.
So yeah, you do happen to see on the wall a makeshift degree. Does say degree in theoretical physics.
Damn. I'm impressed. Hmm.
But you do also see a number of computer parts scattered about. Another desk that's kind of along the wall there. It looks like a bit of a computer lab, kind of.
I wouldn't recognize any of the stuff really. What it would do.
No, I
Yeah.
mean
So.
some of the technology in here is fairly old. Some of the computers are in here are, I mean, for as old as they are running in really good condition.
Old tech still working.
And EB kind of gets back to course. Yeah, Golden Age technology was a bit of its pinnacle.
Robust. There we go. That's the word.
So DB will, for sake of brevity, we'll just continue to read through the stacks.
Yeah, I'm just letting
Um,
him do that because I'm like, I can't read it.
so roughly about an hour passes, and he completes all the papers that are within that are on the desk there. Excuse me. And goes, well, we'll have to go back to the lab, or not, or the vault, I guess, wherever they have the rest of them. But and he kind of checks the time and goes, it's about 9 o'clock. Um, and he's just kind of looking around. It's like, should we go back there and get the rest, or should we maybe wait?
While nobody's here, you can be out, and it's easier to keep track of what's going on. We'd probably be better to go now and get it done. I know it's late, but if we'd have more trouble if people are around. Right now, everyone's probably sleeping, or at least most of them might be starting to go to sleep.
It's all right.
You might want to get back
So,
in the pack, buddy. Let's head down to this vault.
all right, and he zips back into your pack.
I flip the switch that does the blinds to turn them off, so that way nothing weird. And then head out the door and down. You said it was through the forest-like area, right?
Yep. So
Okay.
you'll basically come out of the office. You'll be turning left, and then you'll make your way into the entrance into the forest. Back off into the right hand side as you're walking in. there is another entrance door over there, and that is where you will find the vault.
Okay, so we'll head over that way.
Okay. So as you're walking through, you can immediately start to notice there's a sensation as you walk through the forest again. It feels quite alive. There's an energy to it that just you can sense. Like a word at the tip of your tongue. It's there, but you don't quite understand it.
Okay, I kind of slow down to a stop. DB, do you feel anything?
DB just kind of turns back. I don't feel anything.
I
Like, what do
it's
you mean?
I don't know. I'm feeling. I'm not sure. It's something about here. Whatever's. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. It's just an odd feeling. Weird,
I'm not
but
detecting anything.
um, no weird stuff like maybe energy or something, maybe like that, or I don't know what I'm hitting on here, but you know what? Never mind. Let's get to this vault. Well, this will be a lot easier with nobody around anyway.
All right, so you do make your way back into the vault there. It's another large set of double doors that you walk through, and there's a bit of a tunnel that you go through, and then you do come across another vault door, but this one is much larger. This one it is cracked open a little ways. So the vault door is pretty much open, just open at this point. Do you want to
Hmm.
walk into the room?
As I walk into, that is one big door. Keep on going in.
It's a very big door. It's about the size of the blast doors that you saw at the very entrance of the cave. These are very, very
That's
large
big.
doors. And as you kind of peek into the room, you just see bounds and bounds and bounds of binders and various notepads just stacked on top of boxes, on top of more books.
Oh boy.
This is. Remember how you're asking earlier about a library, if there was a library in the city? This is essentially a library's worth of material that is sitting in this vault.
DB, how long would this take for you to scan through?
More than we need, and he's looking across the room in awe. We don't have time to get all of this.
She wasn't kidding. This is a lot.
I think I'm getting the idea of why she was so erratic.
Yes, this is very overwhelming.
What
Uh,
is this place?
uh, this I think is Project Genesis. Like in the one document, he stored all the information at a facility. This is the facility, and they have the information. They are in grave danger here.
Oh.
This is not good. We don't have time for. I saw how fast you were reading, but this is going to take way too long.
Yeah, we don't have time to collect all that data in here, but
How are we going to do
yeah,
that?
man, you weren't kidding. They're not just sitting on a bomb, they're sitting on a knowledge bomb.
Both. Because if this thing can be used, whoever gets this information, this is dangerous. We need to We're gonna have to talk to Jack and Dr. Brown and let them know they are in danger as is. Whoever is looking for this stuff, they may still be looking for it. And if the way the city was acting about wanting to find out about this information,
Well,
we might need to talk
hold
to the
on.
Vanguard.
And DB kind of he starts to kind of tilt sideways. We've been chasing something has been that happened well over 50 years ago. That's where we found this stuff, right? So, if whatever was tracking it then didn't find this in all of that time, is it possible they just missed it? Or maybe they got snuffed out by the Iron Lords? Or, I mean, we might be just chasing a shadow here, but I mean, there's still some validity to it, but, oh boy.
Why does the Vanguard. Why are they sending us after something that's so old? Now?
They didn't send us after this. This is us finding it on our own.
No, I mean the other mission when we were with Elias. Why were we sent for
Well,
that? They wanted us to do some information
above
gathering.
game, above game. I mean, you were sent really to just kind of investigate what was happening with the situation with the Fallen inside the city. The find inside
Hmm.
the tower was a bit of a bonus. Like you weren't
Oh,
necessarily
that's
sent to
right.
find out
Yeah.
what was happening inside the tower. You were more sent to investigate the presence
The
of the Fallen inside Old Chicago.
which were those three locations. It just
Yeah,
happened
so
to
the
coincide.
Vanguard
Okay.
had zero to
I
do with
mixed
that
myself
situation.
up on that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Okay.
that's fine. Just let you know.
Okay. All right, DB. So, what if they? But if this is, let me think. But what if the person who was looking for this stuff, or people, were looking for this stuff? What if they just didn't find it right now?
Well, again, that what we found back in old Chicago was at least 60 some years old. So whatever happened a long time ago. That's why I keep coming back to this idea that we're chasing a ghost. But
Well, we know.
maybe he's still around, and eventually we keep walking this path. We're gonna catch up to him.
Yes, and that's. It's still. This is. Whoever had this information this long ago, these people knew about it. So there is still a danger out there that if somebody gets this information, they need to keep this stuff locked up right now, and only a certain amount of people should have access to it.
Agreed, but
But I don't know how to tell that to them without them. I mean, Dr. Brown and Jack would probably say, okay, yes, we agree, but a lot of others are going to ask how and why.
I can't imagine the consensus would be willing to just destroy this information so easily.
Yes, I'd love for you to be able to collect all the information you can, but this is going to take way too long, DB. Maybe one day when we have a little bit of time, maybe come back, but not right now.
Yeah, we'll have to come back if we intend to try and gather all of this information. And he starts to look down into the vault again, just looking at like make a perception check for me.
I was going to ask, can I do a perception check?
Yep.
Oh,
One.
fuck.
You're too distracted by the situation that you're not really looking what's going on down there. Oops, that's Wrong guy. I need Diving Bell. Because he's going to make a perception check.
Oh, yes, he can do that too. I keep forgetting that he's like a secondary to me.
6. Okay. He's just kind of like a little bit peeking into the room again, and he's put off by how massive the room looks just from being in the outside of the room. He doesn't want to go in there to even attempt to start reading anything in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
He's just looking at that. He's just like, oh no.
All right. Well,
the stack of papers in there was fine, but this is, oh no.
yes, I agree, DB. I don't want to be sleeping down here just so you can catalog all this. Why don't we go up? What time would it be now?
So right now it's about 11:30.
Okay, DB. Why don't we go up and try and get some sleep? We'll try and see if Mel has a room still, and we'll crash for the night.
All right. So you make your way up to the tavern there, and
DB
Mel
in my
is...
backpack.
Yep, DB. Yep, DB goes back into your backpack. Mel's serving last call, so everyone's kind of getting their last drinks in, and she just smiles and goes, "Well, well, well. Looky here.
Hello, Mel.
Welcome.
It's good to see you.
Welcome back, Blue."
Hey, you wouldn't happen to have a room, would you?
And she just smiles and puts the key down. Your usual room's ready for you.
Thanks, Mel. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go up and crash. It's late. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
I'll get your bill in the morning there.
Alright, thanks, Mel. Night.
Have a good one.
Head up to the room.
Alright, so you head up into the room and you get your sleep in.
During that time, is DB out of my pack and like sitting on the nightstand again, like going through stuff quietly? Or is he kind of hibernating, kind of sleep thing?
He's kind of hibernating because he needs time to process all of that data he just downloaded.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
He needs time.
He's got to process all that data.
Okay. So he's just sitting on the nightstand, kind of like a little nightlight almost.
Yep.
Okay.
Just like how he kind of was before.
All right.
And we'll take a little quick break here, and if you need to get a quick drink or anything.
Yeah, I need a drink. All right. No. You're making this interesting because I'm like, I'm like, when you said how big it was, I'm like, well, there goes that idea. I'm like, maybe I could scan some of it.
I had to stop myself from laughing.
Crap.
Like, you're making these comments, and I have to stop myself from laughing. I'm like, you don't even know what's coming.
Oh my god.
Like, oh yeah, we're gonna get this information on the vault, no problem. Oh really? Did you think so?
I actually thought, I'm like, this could be a massive amount of information. So, but when you described it, I was like, oh, that is way bigger than what I thought. Okay. I was like, oh, that is big. Because you said rows upon rows. I'm like, we might be able to get a small chunk of it, not like all of it.
So here's the way I envision this. You've seen X-Files many times before, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know in the FBI evidence room where they go through that massive, like, vault, there's, like, stacks of, like, 18 high shelves and all these boxes and this massive fucking room? That's how I envision this room.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining, too. I was like,
yeah.
Oh, my God, it's huge.
It's this data repository, this massive room with all this documentation.
And all I imagined, though, was just that. That was it. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. That's way bigger, though. Like, I mean, that was big. But in my head, I'm looking at this huge vault and going, okay, DB, I don't think I can't read any of this, and I know it's going to take you a bit. It's just like, holy crap. And all I was worried about was being found at the moment. Because I was like, when you said do a perception check, I'm like, oh, good. Because I was going to say, can we do a perception check? Because we're down there by ourselves, and we don't know if anybody's come in or what. Because we're down another hall through another set of doors. I'm just like, please tell me somebody's not behind me, because when you I rolled that one and I was like, oh crap. Please tell me they didn't find me yet. You had me freaking out for quite some time, so I was just like, so I mean it's good. I was like, and then just coming in, I'm like, yeah, I'll hit up Mr. Allen, see if he can make this barrel just a little faster or something, or maybe add on something else. I don't know,
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one who worked on it, so.
I mean, he would be the one to do it. I just don't know if gonna have anything quite up to par just yet.
No, and I figured I'd just throw it out there because
yeah.
So it's like, oh, and then with a few others, it's like, holy crap. I'm like, I'm kind of waiting to encounter in the bar again these other people, and I'm like, I'm kind of nervous because 2 people know, and I've done that because I'm like, if I don't, I'm like, how am I gonna, I could get rid of the doctor and probably just have DB scan it while she's gone, but I was like, it's gonna take a bit. Okay. So, but that was one thing on the way. I should have said on the way up. I don't know if it can. DB probably has to be near it, but put the information onto her tablet to what he got so far.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do a little data transfer to do it.
Yeah. See, and I forgot I was gonna have him do that real quick on the way up, and I was like, oh crud. That's all right. Deal with it after.
Yep.
But yeah, it's interesting so far. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen here? What do I need to look for? Maybe upgrade my armor while I'm there? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're not high enough level for that yet. Come on.
No, what level am I anyway? 4. Am I still level 4, or did I go up a level?
Yep, you should be level 4.
Okay, good. I couldn't remember if the level also went up too or not, and I'm like, I know I did a level up, but was it 4? Oops, what did I do to the background screen? Oh, no. I'm scrolling on the background screen on Roll20 and I forgot it changes it. Oops. Stop. Stay. Wow, we're here. I'm going to experiment with this. Holy crap, that's what this does? Okay. Interesting. Oh, you can even lock it too. I'm just looking how to put in another weapon in. I was just looking at it. I'm like, ooh, what's this do? Wow, this is interesting. Type. So it gives you examples of what.
Yeah, if it's like piercing, slashing, bludgeoning damage, if there's elemental damage to it, if there's crit damage, like there's various layers you can
attack
put into this.
What's STR?
Strength.
Oh, strength. Okay, duh. Okay. Attack strength. Oh, okay. +0 plus proficiency. Huh.
Yeah. So if you're making an unarmed strike, you
okay.
would use your strength +0 plus
whatever
proficiency if you had proficiency in unarmed strikes, which you don't.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so like that'd be like if you're making like a melee attack. Like you're doing strength there.
So that would be like with this one. Yeah. So like the Graviton Lance would be the name of it, yeah, of course. But like range would be the wait a minute, where is range?
Range won't be in there, I don't think. You might have to type it out.
Well, it has range, but it doesn't. Oh, it's for the black hole has range, but it doesn't have. cosmology. All other creatures within 5 feet of the target take 2d6 void damage. Okay, so that one's kind of whatever there. Oh, that's cool. And then you got the damage here. Oh wow, this slashing damage. There's damage and damage too. Is it like for a dual weapon kind of thing or something?
If there's multi-attack.
Oh, okay. Oh, and if there's a saving throw with it?
Yep. Like
Okay.
if what they would have to roll to either try attempt to dodge or anything like that. Like basically to like have the damage.
Yeah, and that's what they're giving an example is save effect is half damage.
Yep.
Then there, well, it says saving throw strength versus DC spell. What's
Well, those are drop downs. So like
yeah,
this
I
is
know.
just default stuff. Like you would go in and manually fix all this. So like if you're making like an attack for dexterity, you'd like put dexterity versus athletics
Oh,
or
okay.
dexterity versus acrobatics.
So that's part of your would be like for the saving throw. I'm just using. I'm
Yeah.
just looking at the examples. I'm just asking
Yeah,
general
and
questions.
I'm looking at this on your stream too, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching you do that. So it's like
It's like,
yeah.
huh.
So the way it's structured is it's all drop downs and you build it. So like, you just have to know
Oh,
what you're building.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So I know what to do for some of it. Uh, I'm just
Yeah,
thinking, but
and
it's
when
fun.
if you start setting up stuff for your campaign, your Transformers campaign, I'll help you build it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need help understanding all of this still. Even though I'm reading it, my memories just I have to keep going back and rereading it.
Yep.
It's
And
frustrating.
the
So
the great thing is Visor can also answer some 5e questions for you too, as far as like how the structure of it would work.
yes, because that.
So yeah, well, I mean
I
we
mean,
can.
I got a lot.
He's a good resource too.
Well, and he's got a couple people he can bounce information off of a little bit too. Well,
Yep, and well, yeah, and I think his roommate Seth or someone he knows was a DM too. So he's got DMs on call. You can also check with them to also get answers for you.
this is gonna be fun. I just clicked on that plus. I don't even know how to remove it. I just clicked on it. I'm gonna leave it there because I figure I'd just input some information and then work on it. I'm like I might as well start learning some other stuff at the same time, try and keep up with this because I like the roll 20 thing. The roll thing is kind of but
It's hit
it's
and
fun.
miss.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's roll the dice, see what happens. So I don't
Hmm.
take it personally. It's just like crap, I won. Oh well, just
Yeah,
go
it's
with
it's
it.
not something like yeah, like because it's not the end of the world.
It's not a choose your turn. It chooses for you. You just roll it and see what you get.
Yep.
So it could be really bad, it could be somewhat bad, or you're okay and you're just gonna walk right on by and nobody's gonna do a thing to you,
Yeah.
which does not happen all the time. So yeah,
All
it's
right.
like, woo, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that
All right.
intro.
So we'll get right back into it here.
Oh
So
yeah,
you've had a full rest in here. You haven't really lost anything, so no need to up any stats. So you wake up and DB is just sitting on the nightstand there. You currently see it looks like he's just kind of idle right now. He's sitting there quietly.
DB, you awake?
You hear like a quiet little.
I reach over and lightly tap on him. Tink, tink, tink. DB, wakey, wakey.
Oh, ah,
You all right, little buddy?
oh, oh, yeah. Just kind of exhausted. That was a large data dump I kind of took on there.
Late night reading takes it out of you sometimes.
I finished like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, all night reading. You were
Um,
cramming. Okay.
yeah. Um, I don't know how to put this. Um, and he starts to kind of float up and goes, The equations seem to point to how how the process works, but I don't know how the process works. I and he's kind of starts like pacing back in a little bit in a little spot, just kind of back and forth. And as he's talking, he goes, "I reviewed the formulas and I tried to put them together in something that would correlate or at least somewhat make sense in terms of theoretical physics. But the more I studied it, the more it seems to break the laws of physics. It, it's like they're using the power of the traveler to somehow wipe the slate clean, but then grow something from nothing. That's it. Just it doesn't. I don't. Oh,
Well, so it's. Wait, you said that the power of the
the
traveler?
it the the only thing that I can think of that can potentially break the laws of physics is something that would be paracausal, and the only thing that we know that's paracausal is the Traveler and Guardians. But the kind of power that is being described in this is astronomical. We're talking like nearly the power of a star detonating just to create, and this is what I don't understand, how it creates life from nothing. It wipes the entire slate clean all the way down to the cellular level. It kills even bacteria. But then this rebirth process, and he just kind of stops and goes, it's and he just kind of looks up at you and just goes, it's like how I revive you.
Revive me? You mean to tell me they're using ghosts?
Well, it's like you're returning life to something that was already dead and giving it new form. Because, and he goes, you were, I mean, pretty much a pile of bones when I found you. And here you are now, seemingly flesh and blood. It's almost like they somehow created a process to do this on a macroscopic scale so large it consumes an entire planet. And
So
with in
this.
the theory, it would create a habitable world from a dead planet.
So they are somehow have used the traveler's energies to create.
Maybe that's how I don't understand is how this energy is harnessed and how this is, and he's kind of like tilting back and forth, like kind of like bit side to side, like I don't understand how this the energy is harnessed. I don't. The idea of it being a bomb kind of described in the log entry seems like almost the most realistic idea. It has to be so massive an explosion that it triggers the regenerate or the rebirth process.
So they possibly replicated the traveler's energy, but it has to be so powerful. This is more dangerous than I. I mean, I said planet destroying. Doomsday weapon does fit.
Dr. Pulaski called this a doomsday device. He's not kidding.
No. What can be used for good can be used for evil. This is good and bad. But how did they control it here without blowing up or
Well,
destroying everything here? They had to have done it smaller scale then. So what's
and he
running
nods
here?
and he nods and goes, "Well, that's kind of what they're saying the forest is, but how they even created that is a bit of a mystery to me too. They had to do an experiment on a smaller scale, and it seems like what they call the garden in there was the result of that experiment."
This forest, when I was in there, I said I felt something. It. You said that when you revive me, it's like when you do that to me. Is that would that be the same energy then? That wave of feeling that I was getting while standing in there?
Well,
But you didn't
I
pick
can
it up.
right, I can detect paracausal energies, but I didn't detect anything when we were down there, and I didn't detect anything before either.
I think we need to talk to the Dr. Brown and find out some more and fill Jack in as well. It'd probably be better if we got them both down to her office or somewhere where you could privately talk. All four of us.
Well, I think we should definitely talk to Jack about that for sure.
Yes. Whatever it is, they still might be in danger out here no matter what. Because if anybody finds out about this place, there's going to be an influx and people will fight over to get it.
And as you're saying that, DB kind of zips into your pack, and you hear in your radio, "Unfortunately, I feel like there's going to be someone coming here anyway."
Yes, I agree. I don't like it, but it's inevitable. Why don't we go down and get something? At least I need something to eat and drink, and then pay Mel for the room and food. So I get up and head out the door, go down.
All right. You gather your things and you head out. Uh, you don't see anyone at the desk there in the morning. It's pretty much quiet there.
Okay, I can always come back. Well, looks like she's not here right now. Um, why don't we go and see if Jack's awake?
Okay. So you step out into the town and you notice it's immediately quieter than normal.
What time is it then?
It's about 7, 8 in the morning.
Hmm. DB, it's awfully quiet.
And DB is just like, "I'm starting to have a bad feeling."
Can I make a perception check? Just
Absolutely.
see or see if I can see or hear.
There,
Oh,
there, there it goes, dropping the dice.
yeah, I
Ah.
dropped the dice. Here, I'll roll again real quick. It's a bad
Second.
roll. Bad.
You are not noticing anything. It's it's really quiet. Normally, you would see and you remember hearing kind of like the hustle and bustle of how it would sound out in the morning.
Yes.
So, and DB is gonna make his perception check as soon as I get his sheet working here. He's got an 8, so not much better than you.
Yeah, I was
So
wondering.
you two are looking around, and it is noticeably quieter.
And I don't. Neither of us would hear anything either. There's just
Not with those
silence.
checks.
Yeah, figures.
No.
I walk over to Jack's what is it, office, I guess, or his place?
Yep, yep. His little office there. You don't see anyone in there.
DB, I'm not liking this. Something is wrong. Can I see where over to Mr. Allen's? I forgot how far away it is from Jack's as it is.
It's a little walkaways. I mean, so you can start heading up that way if you wanna.
Yeah, I'd like to head that way.
Uh,
Can I?
Go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
Where's stealth? Oh, there it is. What? Right past it. 13. Is that good?
13.
Or
Okay.
I never know if it's actually good or
Okay.
not.
Well,
like,
that's for me to find out. So
it's like, oh.
you start walking over to Mr. Allen's over there, and you don't hear the sounds of his tools. You don't hear that familiar sound of him working. But you are starting to hear some commotion coming from inside back in the facility.
Okay. I'm still stealth, right? Or am I not? I don't know.
Yeah, you still are right now.
Okay, can I proceed up? Isn't it? Is it just a hallway or a doorway right by when you go through Mr. Allen's?
This is like a massive kind of a hallway. So
okay, and I can hear something going on down there, right?
from where you're at right now, it does sound like there's some commotion happening in the back.
Can I tell if it's like fighting or is it just discussions, like they're talking?
Make another perception for me.
Thank you. I was gonna ask. Oh, for
You can't really tell. Like you can hear voices, so it sounds like there is some discussion going on back there, but you can't really tell the nature of it.
all right. Can I? I'll go down the hall and. Do I need to make another stealth or am I still stealth?
Make another stealth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oops. Ooh.
Natural 1. Okay. Well, you start walking down the hallway, and as you're continuing down, the voices start to become a little bit louder. So it sounds like you're moving in closer to this, and you're starting to hear these voices. And you hear one particular voice cry out, "You knew about this. You've been sitting on this whole time." But you,
So it's a heated discussion.
it does sound like it's a little bit heated after that one particular verse.
So I'm not gonna hide myself. I'm not gonna stealth any further. I'm just gonna kind of walk. Is it they're inside of the? I guess the lab area.
So everyone's standing in this inside a large observation area, like near the forest.
Okay.
And everyone's kind of there, and it's a big discussion, and you're seeing Jack kind of in the center of it, and you hear him say, "You know I didn't know about this. How would I have known any of this? We just found this out today, just like any of you did."
And hello. Just kind of politely.
You literally see everyone in the room just turn to you.
Yeah. I can explain if anybody has questions. I will try to do my best. I only know so much myself, but please don't be mad at Jack for anything. He just found out.
You hear an old voice yell out from the back, "You're the one who did this!"
Excuse me, sir. What are you referring to specifically?
Jack kind of walks over to you and goes, "The discussion of the vault and what Dr. Brown found."
Hell, I don't even know what she found. That's very confusing stuff. I can't even read it.
He's very apprehensive and kind of looks and goes, "It was cracked the other day.
Yes,
We
Dr. Brown told me about this. She said she had it opened.
Yes, and unfortunately, and he kind of looks out to the crowd to a couple of the older gentlemen that are standing out there and goes, some of them seem to believe that this is what the fabled warlord was chasing this time.
It,
And he thinks we need to destroy this. I, for one, don't necessarily agree with this idea. However, there are some who seem to agree with him as well. So, we are trying to decide if this is a good idea to keep here and to keep locked up and maybe just seal it back up again, or if we should actually burn the whole thing down.
your safety would be best, but if you burn that down, you can guarantee you will not live if this warlord or whoever the hell he is still around looking for it. This was over 100 years ago. If anything happens to it, you can guarantee you're dead and all this in here is gone. No matter what, I've been trying to help keep you safe. I have kept my word about not saying anything to anybody about any of this. I came back here with information to help. But it looks like it's coming whether you like it or not. And if you take this out now, I agree with Jack. You should close it back up. Put all those papers back in for now. Keep it sealed. Do not talk about it anymore from here on out between yourselves outside of this facility, such as in here. It would be best in your interests. But for right now, that's up to all you. I still see myself as a guest, but a humbled one enough to acknowledge that you all helped me at one time. Even if you don't like me or you hate me, I don't care. But your safety was my number one priority right now. Do as you please. But if you destroy it, all this is gone.
There's kind of a hush over the crowd after your words there. Dr. Brown does eventually come up. She looks like she maybe got a couple hours sleep. She's about as frayed looking as she was when you last saw her. And she goes, I I I think it's best that we keep this. We don't know what it is, and maybe this could be key to our future.
Very
And
possibly.
she kind of looks down because no one's really backing her up on that. She just kind of looks down and goes, "It's. I just think it's the best thing we should do."
You've been analyzing this data. You've been up for a long time, Doctor. I understand their point of view, but destroying it? He's gonna come here either way. And if I can help.
We don't know there's anything coming for us. That's
We don't know, yes, but be prepared to a point. Look, that information, you can still go through it, but you should limit who's getting into it. That door shouldn't be open right now anyway. People can just walk in, walk right out. I asked for permission. I looked at it and went, oh boy, that's a lot. I can see why you're so tired, Doctor. But if it can benefit all of you for as long as it can, maybe it can benefit the others eventually. Yes, it is a dangerous thing, but we don't know what it is really truly capable of yet. There is information saying, yes, it's a doomsday weapon. Ooh, we're all going to die. I'm more worried about the person or persons using it.
Who said anything about a doomsday device?
Oh, for crying out loud. Either way, you're all afraid. That's when bad decisions happen. You want to just outright destroy it? Destroy it. There goes your future and all this. Then what are you going to do? Start making gardens? Are you going to do that? Who is? This stuff has been here for you. It was, in a sense, left for you. How long before you get tired of it all? Or somebody comes looking anyway, and you've had how many people coming and going? If you want to choose to destroy it, I have left that up to all of you. I will not stop you. But all that chance of life is gone, but it also can be dangerous. People will fight over stuff. This is what races do. We fight because we get greedy or we're hungry, we're desperate. Some people want power, control. Some just want destruction. But you all have a choice right now. Some of you have seen worse things than any of us. Think about it when you do. How much destruction was there? You could have the opportunity to change it now. Choose what you will. I stand by saying keep the information, but lock it up for right now. And keep that door closed and limit who comes and goes. The doctor has put in time to research it to find out more. I do not see her having ill intent. But anyone of us is a danger. It doesn't matter who you are. And if you're willing to burn it all, go for it. I don't care. At this point, I'm just here to make sure you're all safe. I'm just here to find out some more information. And I kept my word. I brought information back that somebody may be coming. May be coming. But if you're conscious about it and careful, you might just have a chance. Don't make a rash decision out of anger, fear. And don't get angry at each other. This is all you people have out here. You helped me even when I didn't deserve it. You were kind, generous, and I hoped I helped by bringing back some to you while I did stay here. I know I'm not part of your town or village, but I don't want anything bad to happen to you.
So Jack steps beside you and he looks to the crowd and goes, I, for one, am ready to just lock the door up and throw away the key. What say all you? And he looks to the crowd. There's a quiet hush for a moment. And people just start slowly walking out. One by one, you start seeing some people just head back out the door. Till eventually there are 3 people left. And you immediately recognize the 3. It's the older gentleman that you talked into at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
That told you the story of the warlords. And they walk up to you, Eros. And the older one looks to you and goes, for all our sakes, I hope you're right.
I do too.
And they turn and walk out the door.
I was expecting something else. Holy crap.
Jack lets out a deep sigh and goes, I wish we never opened that damn door.
I know, Jack. Jack, who opened the door, actually?
Well, It was the scientists. He's kind of scratching his head. Like, we wanted to. We found the door, but we didn't know what it led to because it was entirely sealed up, and the locks on it were something else. But Julia thought she had a good idea to open it, and we finally opened the lock. But now, and I wish I never told her to do it.
Is the doctor down there right now, Dr. Brown?
Yeah, she's kind of down there. She's kind of walked back over to her office, and she's just kind of laying her head down on her desk and just kind of like,
Uh, I asked Jack, hey, let's go to her office for a moment. And I just put my hand on her shoulder. It'll be okay, Doc.
All right. So you lead them back into Dr. Brown's office,
Look at the...
and Jack just asks you plainly, he goes, "So, what's this about?"
Well, God, now I've forgotten part of it because I went into the other thing. Oh, boy. Well, first things, that was all interesting. How'd that come about?
Well, we wanted to keep the cracking of the vault a secret, but you know how secrets kind of go in a small town.
Word of mouth. I... Okay.
Well, you know, when people ask why does Dr. Brown look so awfully tired? She's been at work all day. What is she working on? What's going on back there?
Observant town.
Well, everyone's close around here. Everyone's good friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Okay.
tight-knit group we keep around here. I mean,
Doctor...
a lot of people have chosen to stay here, and we've all kind of, I mean, we all got to stick together to survive, right?
Yes, it is good to notice changes in people sometimes. Not always for the best, but they all need to work together right now. Just recommend right now, limit the interaction with that vault. If it's Dr. Brown going in, let it just be her doing that. If she needs help moving stuff, that's fine, but I would not let a lot of people come and go or close it up for right now and hide it back up for right now. Just in case. Just for now. I'm not saying forever, but if somebody is still looking for this information, I'd rather not see any of you get hurt or worse.
That kind of leans on one of the counter to him and goes, "I completely agree. Unfortunately, considering the spread of word of mouth within the town, how quickly this went out."
Yes.
Yeah, you already get the idea.
It's already a burning bridge. Which way do you go?
I prefer the path of least resistance to keep my folks here safe, but
Right now, if everyone knows, everyone's a liability right now on opening their mouths, and they need to keep it shut as tight as possible. Right now, Dr. Brown is exhausted from reading through all this, and I close the door and flip that switch that does the blinds. And DB, can you transfer that information really quick to her tablet that we do have? She still have the stacks of paper on her desk, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
They've more or less been unmoved because DB can read through the pages. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Just do that real
DB
quick.
will just kind of on it, and it floats over to the pad, and you see him kind of shooting a couple of beams into the pad.
And then I have him get back into the pack as soon as he's done. Doctor, that is what DB has found in all this information. It would be best to put it back for right now where you got it. Just close the door for a little while, let people cool down too. In other words, lock it back up. Maybe put a different lock on there, something you and Jack are the only two able to get into. For right now. Least amount of people getting in would be best.
And Dr. Brown nods and he goes, "Yeah, it's I'll put it all back. It's."
But you have all this right now on that tablet for you to look through. Just that information. What's in there? DB can't do all that right now. That is a lot of information.
Yeah, sure. I'll keep looking into it, and if I see anything, I'll let you know. Okay.
All right, Dr. Brown, I appreciate that. For all your safeties, though, just keep eyes out and keep it sharp. I don't know what is or who may be coming if they do. Yes, this was a long time ago, but if the Vanguard is kind of interested now, they're not really. It was just a side mission, but now it got my attention when that Genesis name came up. And this will be the last time I bring this up unless there's a situation. As I said, I will keep you all in contact on what I find. As for everything else, you're gonna have to watch it. Can I give them my radio comm signal if they could they contact me through their? Do they have control of the radios, the satellite towers, or whatever they have?
do have a short range radio. However, it wouldn't. I mean, they could send distress signal, but it's not going to be like a worldwide broadcast. So
Yeah.
if you're in the last city on the other side of the world, it
wouldn't get there.
Would take you a while. It would take a while to reach you.
I'll give them my radio signal anyway.
Okay.
So Jack and Dr. Brown have it. Just I figure it's
so-
the way they have it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they've got a short range radio, so like they can send out like a burst like transmission to you, like be kind of like an SOS, like emergency signal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best that they would be able to muster with what they have.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any access to
big stuff.
like a satellite relay.
Okay. Well, as long as they got something. Let me see. Well, I was going to get something to eat and drink and pay mail for the room. I think I better do that. I don't want to skimp out on that.
I think she might have actually. And Jack kind of chuckles a bit. I think she might have still been sleeping.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
He kind of like scratched his face. I don't remember really seeing her in the crowd, but I'm pretty sure she was asleep. She's not usually the morning person.
Okay. Well, let me see. What it would be? What 8 o'clock? You said it was 7?
So I mean, right about now, it's probably about like 8:30.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought it was like still way earlier for some reason. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try and get something to eat and drink. Doc, do you need anything other than more sleep?
She just like her eyes just kind of slowly closing. Sleep.
Doc, go up to bed and get some rest for right now.
Mm-hmm. And she slowly starts walking out.
Is anybody else scheduled to like come down here or comes down here at a specific time?
Just Dr. Brown's assistants, but they're not going to be coming in today. If she's not in here working, they're not in here working. They usually help out in the forest, grabbing fruit and such.
All right. Why don't we leave our office, close the door behind us, and head back up the top side for right now?
And he nods and he goes, "All right. Could use some breakfast myself anyway."
Yes.
He guys slaps back. "Come on, I'll buy you."
That's nice of you, Jack. Let's get up there. Have something. Really.
All right, so you make your way back topside, and for brevity's sake, you do make your way to the tavern there, and you do see there's a couple of young teenage cooks in the back there. They're learning to cook eggs.
Oh, new people in the kitchen. Nice.
Yep, we got a couple of youngsters gonna learn, get their first job in, see what they like doing.
Yeah, good to feel, and also good to learn a little about a lot of things.
Well, cooking is an absolute necessity, I'd say.
Uh,
Everyone should learn how to cook.
what's a good dish to get today?
Well, today, sampling of some scrambled eggs, bacon, and sausage.
Oh, that sounds delicious. I will take some, please. And could I have some water too? I'm thirsty. Whew. Also, I have to pay you, Mel, for the room and that, and this food. So.
Well, Mel's still asleep, but
Oh.
you got
The new.
you got yeah you got the barkeep there,
Oh.
and he's like, "I'll take care of you, no worries."
All right, thank you.
So yeah, you get yourself a nice plate full of scrambled eggs, a couple strips of bacon, and some sausage patties.
That sounds really good right now.
And they do bring you a nice tall mug of water.
Oh, nice. Have a sip of the water and start eating. Dude.
Jack himself has the same thing, and he picks up the plate and he just starts digging in.
Yeah, just. Now, is there anybody else in there? Can I do a perception to see, or do I?
Yeah, make a perception for me.
Let's see. Whoops. It says perception, right? Oh my god, my perception.
2.
I'm just
It's
looking
okay
for-
because there's not real. There's a couple of people in there at the tables eating breakfast. Everyone's kind of returning to a bit of a normalcy after the whole discussion there. It still feels a little tense. Everyone's kind of still quiet, kind of contemplating on the recent events.
Okay. Is anybody I would recognize? Or is it just other people from the town?
A couple of youngsters from the town. They're mostly a couple of young guys that are in there eating right now.
Okay. So, Jack, how's it been going out here so far?
Well, he puts down the plate a little bit and kind of sits back. The patrols they're about the same, really. They haven't changed too terribly much from last time I talked to you about it. Couple of near chances, nothing truly out of the ordinary. Your buddy Jin's come back to town every once in a while.
Oh, yes. First person to have a gun to my head. Don't what timing. with that.
First person to get the drop on you, huh?
Oh, yeah. I'm still new to everything, so thankfully it was him and he didn't pull the trigger. But,
Yeah, he's just been in for a couple of resupplies here and there. Not really too much.
Has he said anything or seen anything?
Not to me.
Mm.
He keeps to himself a lot, doesn't really even tell us what he's up to or where he's going.
Well, hunter's life.
Hmm.
So nothing unusual with the patrols. That might be a good thing. It just nothing's picked up, nothing's changed. We've had to.
It's still, and he kind of goes back to it. He goes, it still bothers me that it's as low as it is, considering how much I used to see them so frequently.
Well, the city was, at least Chicago was interesting. Lots of activity there.
Yeah, he kind of picks up a strip of bacon, takes a bite out of it, and goes, "So what'd you find?"
A new friend, sort of. Partner, friend. He made an interesting picture on a rooftop.
I'm sorry?
I'll explain that one a little later. We were sent in to do a mission, and things didn't go as planned when we were getting there. Eh, it was
He,
interesting.
he's kind of looking at you, just kind of chewing the bacon, and just like
But
that sounds like could be an interesting one.
yeah, we did have a bit of a scuffle down inside of a sewer system. I don't like rats. Oh my god, these things were ugly. They smelled. Uh,
Yeah, DB kind of says into the radio quietly, "Yeah, the fight of our lives."
just giggle a little. Yes, it was very interesting. Let's put it that way. Uh, this is where we started when we were in that tower. We found the information, so we did our thing. We got in, had a fight through the sewers. That was fun. Then we got out of there as soon as we could. But this was after we came through the basement area, and that was a interesting one too. Lots of stuff missing in there. But just getting through it, that was fun. Runs and
Sounds
jumps.
like a pretty wild adventure you've been on.
Yes, I don't think it's over with. Life is an adventure in its own way. Just what it's gonna throw at you. That will be another thing.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing about this world. Yeah, it just hits you with things like a bolt of lightning.
Yes, let's hope it's not going to be anytime soon right now. Lightning? But yes, I've got the. I came out here to let you all know what I found and also find out more. So far, I found out more.
Well, good on you for investigating and seeing what you find. I just hope that doesn't come back to haunt us all.
I do too. Right now, I just want to make sure you're all okay out here. It is a interesting thing. I'm just playing the game safe. Keep my cards where I need them and watch what I'm playing. Because right now, like I said, and I kind of dropped down to whisper, leaning toward him a bit. I haven't told anybody, and I still won't unless it has to be brought out.
He nods knowingly. That decision's entirely on you. I'm not gonna decide that one way or the other. You know how I feel about that, and that's just the way I'm gonna hold to that.
Yes, and then
However, though,
Ow.
that being said, though, it's less about who you are and more about where we're gonna go from here.
Continue living right now. Keep your eyes open and ears. And if people, and I say it a little louder, keep their mouths shut, you might be safe
You
for
see
longer.
that the teenagers kind of look over at you a little bit, side eyed, just.
Yeah, and I'm like, and things might be okay for a while, maybe for even longer. It's just everybody's got to pull together here. That's all. Right now, I just have a bad feeling about something else going to happen right now, and I don't know what it is yet. But it's something.
Jack nods as he kind of finishes the last piece of bacon on his plate. Just, well, like I said before, I believe you have a good head on your shoulders and a good heart in your chest. I think you'll do right by us, and I don't have any doubt of that.
Well,
As far as matters here are concerned, we'll do what we can, and we'll obviously try to keep quiet about it, but at the same time, we'll try and prepare ourselves for what may come. Hopefully nothing does, but I'd rather be prepared for something that doesn't come than be unprepared for something that does.
Yes. Things change no matter what. They will come. Right now, I'm going to keep investigating more and see what else I can find. For now, we'll just see what happens.
Between you and me, what do you think we're really going to find out of all this?
Me, I hope a chance for better lives. But that's wishful thinking. I just hope for a peaceful life at some point. That we will have some point of peace. But I don't think that's coming anytime soon. So just live.
He kind of laughs like softly to himself. He goes, "Our planet's invaded by an alien species. I don't think we're gonna be in paradise anytime soon, son."
Yes. After seeing them up close, they're ugly son of a bitches.
Vicious ones too.
God, they smell. I wear this helmet, but hey, it doesn't filter out everything.
I suppose not. And there's this quiet moment, and Jack just asks you plainly, "You think the war's coming to my doorstep?"
Possibly. If there is this, whoever it is that's coming for it, I leave out specific words because I know ears are listening. Possibly. But it is good to be prepared right now. That's all I can tell you. I'm bringing you, like I said, information. I don't know what to expect right now. I just hope I can be here to help when the time comes. And I'm not across the planet when it happens.
Well, we've fended for ourselves for a number of years. I think we can do it again. He kind of slides the empty plate forward, puts his fork on it, and just letting the barkeep know that he's done with the plate.
I'm just finishing off bacon I have.
And Jack he sits back, reaches into his pocket, pulls out a cigar, and he goes to light it, takes a drag off of it. Well, there's no sense stressing about it when there's nothing I can do to fix it.
Not right now, yes. Just go
So
on.
all we can do is just live life like ain't nothing happened. Maybe one day we'll have it back. That
True.
peace of mind again.
So, how's the hunting been, Jack?
He goes, "Oh, well." And he kind of points his thumb to behind him, and there is a large buck rack hanging above the door. That big sucker there was maybe a kilometer outside of town. I don't know how it got so close, but it's probably the biggest one I ever bagged in my life.
Nice.
It might even rival yours.
Maybe. Just sitting there grinning. That's a nice.
Anyways. I think at this point, we're just gonna settle in, and we're just gonna let this ride.
Yeah, that is all you can do. Just do that. Keep living your lives out here. I will keep you updated as much as I can.
Well, I'll let your buddy Jin know you stopped in and said hi.
Yes, I should make my way back to the city. See what else is going on.
Alright, well, you catch word of anything suspicious or anything, or if you hear from us.
I will make my way back as soon as I can.
You're a good man, Eros. And he reaches up his hand to you.
Give him a firm shake back. I'll see you around, Jack.
See you soon, friend.
Walk out the door. Get on my Sparrow.
Alright.
Head on out of town.
Alright. So, for brevity's sake, you do make it back to your ship, and you do return to the last city. You park your ship with the shipwright, get it refueled. No message from Elias as of yet, so and it's only been about 24 hours, so you're assuming he's still out on the recruiting process, so you've got some extra time to kill over the next few days. So since we're kind of expecting above game here, we're kind of expecting Blue to be back here next week. Is there anything you want to do over these couple of days here, as far as like any excuse me, like any other shopping, any like upgrading attunements or anything you want to do? And if there's anything you can't think of now, just be kind of thinking about it next week, so that way you can just kind of briefly cover it here when we get started.
I'll have to think about that because I was sitting there thinking my hand cannon.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, we'll just say that for brevity, like you kind of go back home to your apartment and you just kind of rest, and then over the next couple of days here, just be thinking about what it is that you would like to do. If there's any like, just look over your stuff. If you need to attune yourself with anything, if there's any tools that you want or anything that you would like to have done while you're in town, or even if there's something you want to visit or anything, or even if you want to just visit with your hunter mentor and just have discussions with him. Just be thinking about all these different things that you could be doing or that you could do during that time here, and we'll cover it next week.
Yeah, that would be good, because I was thinking of talking to the hunter of the Vanguard part of it anyway, just to kind of pick at him a bit.
Yeah, go talk to Shin for a while, kind of pick his brain for a bit. Yeah.
So I've got some small stuff. I didn't think about the weapons or really anything else right off the bat, but we'll see.
I mean, there's not too much we can really do for upgrades right now, just because of your current level. I mean, what we've already did for upgrades was kind of what was available, just because at the time.
Yeah, I'm glad it was for the bow, because I'm like, I was thinking the hand cannon, but I was like, no, I've been using the bow. And
yeah, well, I'll say this too, is that really for any weapon that if you wanted to start building spec in any particular weapon, I mean, like I said, you've already got certain proficiencies with stuff, but if there's anything in particular, like if you wanted to say, like upgrade, a hand cannon, or if maybe you're looking at potentially assault rifle, like you can still, like, there's upgrade options for the first slot for every weapon out there.
Well, that's why I'm like, maybe the hand cannon, but it's one of those thinking of it, but I'm like, yeah, I'd like to get to an assault rifle of some sort.
But at the same time, you do have a shiny new toy that you haven't gotten to try out yet.
Yeah, I want to play with that.
And upgrading might not even really be in the wheelhouse for you, considering you have this wonderful toy to play with.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said I was thinking hand cannon, but I'm like, yeah, I've got the other rifle.
At the same time, you've got this beautiful pulsing purple rifle that just screams at you, "Use me."
I should get a little more ammo for it, just in case. You know, I never know how often I might be using it.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's got some nice specs on it.
Yeah, but next week we will likely be planning out uh, the events happening in Old Chicago, and we will see what happens from there.
Cool.
Thank you, Nix. I do appreciate it. I've spent some time putting this together and writing it, so I do hope I have a very long story for this planned out. So if we have layers and layers for this to go through, I'm very excited for this. I'm writing this in the same way you would kind of write like a drama series on TV.
Yeah, it is like
many
one.
layers, many storylines, kind of interwoven. Some stuff is unique. Like there's a big plan here. There's a very big plan here, and I hope to see this whole thing through to the end. Yes,
Wow.
TV drama, awesome. TV drama is excellent.
Sorry, I'm eating
No,
Twizzlers.
nobody wants real drama.
I got licorice. I'm eating it. I'm like, yum.
But yeah, we've got a long way to go. I've got a very long story here, so I just hope we can continue this and we can
I'm
bring
having
the
fun.
story to life.
Maybe we'll also eventually get some more people to join in and keep doing this.
Yeah,
Because this is good.
Yeah, and on that topic too, unfortunately, it sounds like Blue's friend did end up getting busy with something else, so it sounds like he's not going to be available.
Okay, that's all right.
So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I am looking to get a couple more people into the game here at some point. I don't know exactly when, but at some point I would like to bring in additional characters and bring in more voices. Because as interesting as it is to hear me talk for 3 hours, I would rather not. I want to give the floor to people who, you know, do want to try their hand at this and to role play and to practice and to actually get into stuff like this. Because
But Dave, we love hearing your voice. You hear
that may be the
lovely
case,
voice.
but I do also want to give people opportunity, and I do want to give them the floor too, because it's not really. Yes, it's my story, and a lot of it is a lot of work that I've put together. But at the same time, I'm writing this for my players, and I'm writing this for my audience.
Wow.
I want everyone to be able to enjoy this as much as I do writing it.
Now, after we're done here, I gotta download it. It's gonna take an hour.
Oh, I mean, we're over 3 hours here already, so it's going to be more than that probably.
The 5-hour one, that was 12 gig.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
a good amount of data.
Off topic. I mean, my stream archives from when I did my box opening, that was almost an hour and a half of downloading, and that was not nearly as long.
Yeah, it's
On the same topic though of Dungeons and Dragons, fun little stream gonna be coming up here. Magic the Gathering is gonna have a Dungeons and Dragons set. Not sure if anyone was aware of this, but very cool art cards and everything coming out with Magic the Gathering, and I'm actually gonna be getting a set booster box of these and gonna be opening them on stream. Yes.
God, Nick, you sound like me when I.
Yes, so I will be opening up a box of this stuff here. It's gonna be probably about the end of the month, looking at about probably July 31st, actually, because at the moment, it's coming out on the 23rd, but I'm getting this shipped to me, and it'll be arriving late in the week, so we'll probably be doing the opening Saturday night on the 31st of July. So follow my Twitch. I'll let everyone know when I'll be doing it, and
Yep, his link's up there, and it's also in my description in the D and Destiny section. You'll find his link there too. Also, mine should auto-host him, so if you see him on there, go directly to his and give him support there. Because I don't mind. I'm just go to his and give him more support. Because if I'm not streaming, go to him.
I'll be doing some random stuff here because I actually have some extra time off this week, so might be doing a random stream here Monday or Tuesday just because I'll have nothing to do. So
lucky. I'll be waxing floors again.
Fun.
Hey, but I got a new floor machine I get to play with as soon as my boss comes in and helps me put it together. I don't want to break it.
I kind of need the hours anyway because I kind of need the work, but at the same time, it's like, and I could use the days off. It's always nice.
Now, for myself, I will be, after last night, I'm going to get into Transformer. I'm going to get those cards, Dave. I'm going to start picking them up here and there. Talk to the wife.
I'm gonna have to start taking on the title of Card Czar because I'm getting all of you into fucking trading cards.
Well, I'm doing mine because I love Transformers still. I think it's because it's robotics and stuff. I always did like it, but I will try and set up the D&D campaign. I'm gonna work on it. It's gonna take me a little bit because I have to go through, like you said, Dave, pick one and kind of go with that. Which I kind of have one in mind, which would be along the Gen 1 series.
I could give you a lot of writing tips, and like if you want to like go ham into a story, like if you're trying to like write stuff, I can give you some.
Well, I don't want to give too many. I don't want to give up too many details on certain things because I will be throwing in some twists and some other things that I can come up with because I've done that with my own son. And it's very interesting when I've done it to him and he's just like, okay, he wants to figure out more because I put it out because it's a puzzle. But it's not hard all the time. It's just, it's interesting.
See, this is the one thing for me is that what's so hard about the waiting part of this campaign is that you guys haven't even been really introduced into the main villain, and when you do, it's not gonna be what you think it is. It's gonna.
I've been wondering about that.
It's gonna catch you. I promise you, it's gonna catch you all off guard because it's not gonna be what you expect.
Hell, I don't even know what to expect. I'm starting to suspect one person out of the whole thing, and that's it. And I'm not. I think I'm way off, but.
I can almost tell you with a very high degree of certainty you are most definitely off.
Oh yeah, I know I am, but I'm rolling with it for now until I start putting more together. I'm like, okay.
See, I'm so excited for the debut when it finally happens. Like, it's still a ways away. It's not going to be anytime soon. I'll just tell you all that right now. But when it happens, it's gonna be a goddamn atom bomb, baby.
This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, I gotta figure out for that campaign. Like I said, I gotta get that printed out so I can start writing on it and adjust some stuff first. Because what I read, some of the stuff can be adjusted a little differently to make it a little better.
And like I've been telling you, when you're DMing this, you have discretion over what you want to put in and what is in your game.
Y'all get in there, you get smashed by one hit. You're dead. We're done. No, not that cruel.
I roll to dodge. Natural 20.
No.
Eat it.
The hammer's too big. It's Unicron size. Bam. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. That's way over. Holy crap. That's destroying a game at that point. That's not even a game.
Yeah.
That's just somebody's sick amusement. But yeah. It'll be interesting because with it being Transformer based, you get to transform. So, and if you choose not to transform, that's okay too. But that's the problem with the Transformer 1 that I have right now is it has Autobot, Decepticon, Cybertronian. That's it. I'm like, okay.
Well, it'll depend on what era you want to put this in.
Yeah.
Is it there's Transformers, you've got a vast timeline and multiple universes to go
Gosh,
through.
there's so many universes. I'm like,
yeah.
No.
You have a rich source material to just kind of pluck from.
Yeah, I'm thinking kind of going back to the G1 line, somewhere on there maybe. I don't know where yet, but
yeah,
I've already started thinking of it. I'm like, do I want it on Earth or Cybertron?
That's for you to decide.
Yeah, so I got a lot to think about there, but it's something to do.
But yeah, like you hear, Nix, we both have got some content coming up here. We've got ideas, we've got new things. We're gonna be doing new stuff here, and we're gonna keep pushing this because this is fun for us. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy writing this. I'm gonna keep going. So, thank you all for hanging out. I do appreciate everyone who does stick around and listen to these streams.
I was just responding back to you, Nix. Jeez, she typed it in Discord to me, and then she types it in here. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Nix. Yeah, we're signing out here tonight too. So you have a good night, everyone. You all have a good night, and we will see you guys next week.
Yeehaw! And we are latest.